the maximum level expert. She thrives in interstellar riches. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 926, Chrysanthemum Tofu 1. How did you do that? Marks, who had just finished processing the ingredients and was about to start making the sweet potato. As a result, he happened to see Wen Jiu putting the cut tofu into the water. At first, he was still thinking that the other party had almost cut the tofu into pieces before, and now it would fall apart quickly if it was put into the water. In this way, the tofu would be useless. Who knew that? He just frowned in dissatisfaction and saw Wen Jiu's hand shaking in the basin. In just a few seconds, after the pieces on the corners fell apart, a white tofu flower appeared in the other party's palm. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he really couldn't believe that tofu could be cut into flowers. Just do this first, and then that, and you'll do it. Wen Jiu rarely showed a trace of pride, but she didn't rush to tell Marks how to cut the tofu into a flower. It's not that she didn't want to teach Marks, but she wanted to use this method to lure the other party into a trap. Marks is a person who is keen on cooking at first glance. If she wants to cooperate smoothly, she must cater to his preferences. It just so happened that the other party liked cooking, and she was good at it. Facts proved that she was right. The moment Marks saw the tofu pudding, her red eyes were shining. It was a pity that it was not a good time to talk, and she needed to wait until the other party was convinced. Hearing this, Marks immediately changed to a lost look. If you don't want to talk, forget it. Humph. He thought he was very cool and said a harsh word and then continued to bury his head in cooking. Isn't it just that his knife skills are a little better? His knife skills are not bad. Besides, cooking is not just about knife skills, but also has to taste good. Maybe Wen Jiu is just good at knife skills and wants to use this opportunity to affect his state. It's so hateful. It's so hateful. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that this was the case, and his cheeks were puffed up with anger. So he decided not to pay attention to Wen Jiu, this hateful human, until all the dishes were ready. Because Wen Jiu didn't mean to communicate, the whole kitchen became quiet after Marks chose to remain silent. Even Husan and Chujian, who were watching the show outside, began to eat melon seeds silently without saying anything. Time passed by bit, and the rabbit spirits in King Guy Hall went from being excited at the beginning to doing nothing. It's been more than an hour. Isn't the tribe leader ready yet? Rabbit Beng Beng, who was captured here to serve as a soldier, couldn't sit still and pulled Rabbit Shio to ask. He thought he could go back to the fields to work after delivering the seeds, but Rabbit Shio suddenly found him and said that the tribe leader had something to tell him. So he hurried to Changle Hall, and only after entering did he realize that he was tricked by his sister. Being able to eat the food cooked by the tribe leader is not really a trick, but he didn't expect to wait so long, and he wanted to go to the fields to work right now. As long as he was given a piece of land, he could plant it for a day. Hearing this, Rabbit Shio shrugged helplessly. I don't know about this either. You know that the chief hates other rabbits disturbing him when he is cooking. How dare I ask? Didn't you say there was a snow fox in the kitchen? The rabbit spirit beside him whispered. Why don't you go ask the snow fox? Rabbit Shio almost laughed when he heard this. Excuse me, what's the difference between going to the kitchen to find Fox-san and going to the kitchen to find the chief? Don't they both have to go into the kitchen and disturb the chief's cooking? Seeing that she didn't fall for it, the rabbit spirit lowered her head in shame and pretended nothing happened. Seeing this, she couldn't help but shook her head. She wanted to go to the kitchen to find out, but the problem was that when the chief got angry, there was no rabbit to take care of except the elder. Besides, the chief was now competing with Master Wen. If she rushed in rashly, it would be embarrassing if she affected the other party's performance. Just as she was comforting the rabbit spirits, she suddenly saw the door of King Guy Hall opened. Then the rabbit spirits that usually take care of the little rabbits came in, each pushing a cart. Hello, Great Elder. Hello, Fourth elder, the leading rabbit spirit, greeted politely first. These are the dishes made by the clan leader and master Wen, and I brought rabbits to deliver to the judges. Hearing this, the great elder smiled indifferently. Okay, then please distribute them. As soon as she finished speaking, the fourth elder asked hurriedly, which dishes were made by the clan leader? Which dishes were made by that human? After the other party finished speaking, the rabbit spirit who was delivering the meals answered with embarrassment, replying to the fourth elder, we didn't know that the clan leader only asked us to deliver the dishes and then tell Rabbit Shio to keep track of the tickets. This time, she did not wait for the angry fourth elder to speak, but smiled gently to comfort the rabbit spirit in charge of delivering the meals. It's okay. It seems that the clan leader is afraid that we will be biased, so he gave such an order. In this case, please taste each dish, and then choose the dish you think is the most delicious, and tell Rabbit Shio. With her words, all the rabbit spirits present were relieved. Only the fourth elder still looked very dissatisfied. But it doesn't matter, with her here, the other party can't make any trouble. The rabbit spirits responsible for delivering the food quickly distributed the dishes. They classified them according to the color of the lids covering the bowls and plates. Because there are a total of 6 colors of lids, they will not confuse the dishes. It can be guaranteed that every rabbit spirit responsible for tasting can taste the dishes made by Tumaksu and Wen Jiu. After these rabbit spirits who delivered the food withdrew, the elder gave the order for everyone to start tasting. Tu Bang Bang had been waiting impatiently for a long time. He directly lifted a green lid and saw a small soup bowl underneath. The moment he saw the soup bowl, his mood improved a lot. He always liked to drink a bowl of soup before eating, but he didn't expect that soup would come out this time. So he happily took off the lid of the soup bowl, and the hot steam containing a lot of fresh fragrance immediately rose up, making his already hungry stomach growl. He couldn't help but close his eyes and take a deep breath, as if he wanted to suck up the hot air. What is this? After he opened his eyes, what came into view was a beige chrysanthemum, soaking in clear and bright soup. As the soup was turbulent, the petals were still floating around, which looked very pleasing to the eye. Seeing this, Tu Bang Bang couldn't help but pick up the soup spoon curiously. But he couldn't bear to destroy the beauty of the flowers, so he only scooped a spoonful of soup into his mouth. The moment the tip of his tongue touched the hot soup, his red eyes widened several times. This is the third update of the day. Thanks again to the lovely little angels. Chapter 927 Chrysanthemum Tofu 2. Tu Bang Bang thought the soup had no taste, but it was delicious and fragrant. As soon as he took a sip, it was like a rabbit had used a heavy punch, which instantly woke him up and made him switch from listlessness to radiance. The light yellow soup was extremely clear, and there was not even a trace of oil. It tasted fresh and refreshing, and successfully awakened his taste buds, making his appetite increase. He couldn't help but scoop one mouthful after another. Because the soup was still a little hot, he sweated while drinking. But he didn't feel uncomfortable at all, but felt a comfortable feeling, like taking a hot spring bath, which made him relax. Seeing that he had drunk more than half of the soup, the white chrysanthemum was still intact, and he couldn't help but get tangled for a while. The main reason was that the flower was carved too beautifully, lifelike, just like a real chrysanthemum. Tu Bang Bang was tangled for a long time, and finally picked up the spoon. He thought that the only person who could carve such a realistic flower was Tumaksu, whose cooking skills were better than Tumaksu's, and whose knife skills were superb. Anyway, he worked under Tumaksu, and the two rabbits had a good relationship in private. At most, he could go to the other party to ask for another flower. Thinking of this, he scooped it up without hesitation. However, he never expected that the chrysanthemum was broken open the moment the spoon fell, and there was no resistance at all. This is made of tofu. The rabbit spirit sitting next to him was also tasting the chrysanthemum tofu. The other party had just scooped a spoonful of petals and put them into his mouth. At this moment, his two red eyes were almost as big as fists. Seeing this, Tu Bang Bang was stunned. No wonder his spoon broke smoothly in an instant when he scooped it down. It turned out that this flower was made of tofu. Wait, tofu? This is actually made of tofu? How could a rabbit make tofu into a flower? and it was a chrysanthemum with many petals and extremely realistic. The more he thought about it, the more surprised he felt, and he ate the petals in a trance. The soft and delicious tofu soaked in the fresh and fragrant soup was full of mouth-watering delicious taste. He didn't need to chew at all. The tender tofu melted like summer ice cream as soon as it entered his mouth. At first, he thought that if he could make tofu into flowers, then the tofu must be hard. But he never expected that the tofu was not only not hard, but also so soft that he felt like he was biting a floating white cloud. As he ate, the bowl of chrysanthemum tofu was finished, and even the red dates and wolfberries soaked in the soup were eaten up by him. It was not until he heard the crisp sound of the spoon touching the bottom of the bowl that he woke up from the dream of the delicious hot spring and soft white clouds. It's amazing. I have lived for more than 100 years, and this is the first time I have eaten such tofu. At this time, the rabbit spirit next to Tu Beng Beng also ate up the chrysanthemum tofu in front of him. Hearing this, Tu Beng Beng couldn't help but agree. Me too. I thought the tofu that can be made into flowers would be very hard, but I didn't expect that the tofu melted as soon as it entered my mouth, and I could swallow it with the soup without even chewing it. As he spoke, he brought a new dish over. This dish seemed to be served on a plate, and it was covered tightly with a red lid, so he couldn't see what was in it at all. But it didn't matter. He believed that with the cooking skills of the tribe leader, he couldn't make any unpalatable dishes. He just hoped that he wouldn't get the dish made by the human. If he got sick from eating it, wouldn't he be unable to enjoy the delicious food made by the tribe leader? Although Tu Beng Beng said that all 6 dishes had to be tasted for voting, he didn't want to taste the food made by humans selfishly. It's not like he had never come into contact with humans, so of course he knew the cooking level of humans. Anyway, Tu Beng Beng didn't ask them to finish it. He would eat the delicious dishes made by the tribe leader first, and then taste a few bites of the dishes made by humans. At worst, he could just say that he was too full at first, so he couldn't eat anymore at the end. Anyway, just taste it and vote. He doesn't care about that. Thinking about it, Rabbit Beng Beng opened the red lid. But the moment he saw the dish, his brows knitted tightly together. Because he didn't do anything else for a long time, it attracted the attention of the rabbit spirit next to him. The other party couldn't help but take a curious look. Oh, so there is stir-fried pork under the red lid. You can tell it's a dish made by humans. Beng Beng, you should change to another dish first. Hearing this, he immediately understood that the rabbit spirit had the same idea as him. It's just that he has opened the lid now, and it doesn't seem good to put it aside without eating it. So he thought about it, and frowned and picked up the chopsticks. Seeing that he didn't say anything, the rabbit spirit next to him smiled and opened the blow lid. Inside was the golden sweet potato with candied silk, which was known to be made by Tu Mak Su. Seeing this, he felt even more dissatisfied. How could his luck be so bad that the second dish was made by humans? If he didn't eat it at all and put it aside, it would seem that the Jade Rabbit clan was unfair. He didn't want to hold the Jade Rabbit clan back. It was just a few bites of human-made food, and Toshiro didn't ask them to finish it, so he could just eat a few bites casually. Thinking of this, Toshiro picked up a piece of chili angrily. In fact, this stir-fried meat looks pretty good, and their Jade Rabbit clan can also make this dish, but they just make it less. So if this human was perfunctory, or made a strange taste, he could taste it as soon as he ate it. So he ate the chili with trembling, but there was no strange taste after entering his mouth, but there was a faint spicy taste and meaty aroma. Strange, could it be that the human who challenged the clan leader really know how to cook? No, how could it be possible? Humans can't cook. When he thought of this, he firmly bit off the chili. But to his surprise, the chili looked a little soft, but it tasted crispy and tender. This crispness and tenderness is not because it is not cooked, but because the heat is controlled just right, so the pepper tastes neither too soft nor too hard. After chewing for a few times, Rabbit Beng Beng swallowed the pepper in his mouth. It's strange that this human can control the heat so well. In fact, the method of stir-fried pork is not difficult, so most rabbits can cook this dish. But if you want to make stir-fried pork delicious, it still takes a lot of effort. Is this human really good at cooking? So he can stir-fry the pepper so well? but the humans he had met before couldn't cook, so how come a human who is proficient in cooking suddenly appeared? The more he thought about it, the more strange it seemed to him, and he couldn't help but pick up the chopsticks for the stir-fried pork again. But he didn't pick the pepper to eat again. This time he directly picked up a piece of meat and put it into his mouth without hesitation. Today's first update has been successfully delivered. Thank you for the support of every little angel. 030. Chapter 928 Stir-fried pork and boiled cabbage 1. Hiss, this stir-fried pork is really good with rice. Master Wen, why don't you steam some rice? The more Foxson ate the stir-fried pork, the more he felt sorry. Why didn't Wen Jiu and 2 Marksu steam rice, so he could only eat sweet potatoes? The salty and fragrant meat slices were very tender and smooth, and they were especially good with rice, after being coated with spicy flavor. The spicy taste of the stir-fried pork was very rich, and he couldn't stop eating it at all. He didn't know how Wen Jiu made it. The spicy taste of the stir-fried pork was enough but not uncomfortable. First, he took a bite of the spicy and fragrant stir-fried pork, and then took a bite of the golden and soft sweet potato. The spicy and sweet tastes are like ice and fire. They seem abrupt, but they actually have a unique flavor when combined. But he still wanted to eat a bowl of rice. The stir-fried pork was spicy and addictive without losing the meaty aroma. It was really a good dish to eat with rice. Even the green peppers as a side dish tasted crispy and delicious. The rich spicy aroma added a touch of tempting meaty aroma. He felt that he could eat 3 bowls of rice without any problem. It's a pity that Wen Jiu and 2 Marksu didn't steam the rice. Why didn't they steam the rice? When Foxson thought of this, he couldn't help but complain. Eating stir-fried pork without rice is like not having a snowball fight in the land of frozen snow, or not seeing Emperor Xiu in Emperor Xiu Valley. 2 Marksu, who was studying chrysanthemum tofu seriously, interrupted him with dissatisfaction when he heard this. Hey, don't push your luck. Do you think you can see Emperor Xiu whenever you want? I was just making an analogy. I didn't say I wanted to see Emperor Xiu. He was not embarrassed at all after being interrupted, and continued to eat the stir-fried pork by himself. Besides, if you want to see Emperor Xiu, you have to get Lord Shen's consent. It's useless for a little vixen like me to say it. After he finished speaking, 2 Marksu's complexion was a little better. It's enough for you to know. Lord Shen is very busy with all kinds of things. How can he have the time to take you to see Emperor Xiu? I know, you bootlicker. He deliberately lowered his voice when he said the last 3 words, so that 2 Marksu, who was concentrating on studying chrysanthemum tofu, didn't hear it. Chu Jian, who was eating stir-fried pork, listened to the conversation, but he didn't join in the discussion. Because he didn't quite understand what the monsters were talking about, and he saw that Wen Jiu didn't want to join the conversation, so he chose to remain silent very cautiously. Anyway, he came with Wen Jiu this time, and if the other party didn't take the initiative to speak, he would pretend to be dead. At this moment, Wen Jiu was studying the boiled cabbage made by 2 Marksu. The other party carved the cabbage into a lotus bud and put a red wolf berry in the position of the cabbage heart. 2 Marksu's boiled cabbage menu is very good in terms of appearance, but I don't know how it tastes. In fact, she also wanted to make boiled cabbage at the beginning, but she thought that 2 Marksu was good at cooking, so there was a high probability that the other party would make this dish. So after she found tofu in the warehouse, she replaced the boiled cabbage with chrysanthemum tofu. However, it turned out that what she thought was right. 2 Marksu really made boiled cabbage. Wen Jiu, how did you carve the tofu into flowers? 2 Marksu suddenly came over with a soup bowl. The tofu is so soft. How did you do it? Hearing this, Wen Jiu first picked up the teapot on the table, and then slowly replied, let's wait until the results of our competition come out. Don't be impatient. As she spoke, she took the teapot and poured a pot of boiling soup over the budding cabbage. The budding cabbage slowly stretched and bloomed after the soup fell. But in a moment, a blooming lotus was immersed in the golden soup, and waves of light heat continued to rise. Seeing this, Wen Jiu's eyes suddenly lit up. Rabbit tribe leader, your knife skills are not bad. Humph, I'm the tribe leader, that's natural. After being praised, 2 Marksu's snow white face flushed. Seeing the other party like this, she didn't say anything more, just picked up the chopsticks and spoon, and started to taste. There was a little bit of oil on the golden soup, but it didn't taste greasy at all, but it had a rich and incomparable deliciousness. I don't know what ingredients the other party added, but after the deliciousness, there was a faint fragrance. After she drank a few sips of soup with great appetite, she picked up the chopsticks and started to taste the cabbage. Tumaksu controlled the heat of cooking cabbage very well, and it tasted soft, but not mushy, and had a little chewiness. The combination of crispy, tender, and sweet cabbage in the fresh and fragrant soup not only enriched the taste of the food, but also improved the taste. It seems that Tumaksu's cooking skills are really good, and Wen Jiu was even happier when he thought of this. Although the other party, as the tribe leader, can't go out to work, she can ask. No, she can take other rabbit spirits to work. Before she came, she heard the snow foxes of the snow fox tribe say that everyone in the jade rabbit tribe loves farming and cooking. So she pretended to speak casually. Rabbit leader, since your cooking skills are so superb, then your tribesmen must be good too, right? Of course. We jade rabbits are all good at cooking. Tumaksu took the bait immediately after hearing this. Even the little rabbit spirit who just transformed can cook at least 10 dishes. Hearing this, she immediately smiled like a flower. Awesome, I admire you. The other party was a little confused for a while when he saw her smiling like this. He could only finish eating the chrysanthemum tofu and pick up the crab roe soup dumpling next to it to study it. How can there be such a big crab roe soup dumpling? Tumaksu looked at the crab roe soup dumpling as big as a plate, and the whole rabbit was stunned. He also knew how to make soup dumplings, so he naturally knew that it took a lot of effort to make the soup dumplings so big. After saying this, Wen Jiu, who was eating boiled cabbage, replied, "You don't know if you haven't eaten it. I haven't eaten such a big one." He gritted his teeth unyieldingly. "You made this soup dumpling so big, the skin must be very thick." However, the other party just shook his head indifferently. "No, you will know after taking a bite. Do you need me to teach you how to eat it?" He became even more annoyed when he heard this. Although he had never been to the human world, he was still knowledgeable. He had never eaten soup dumplings as big as a plate, but that didn't mean he didn't know how to eat it. "I don't want you to teach me." Tumaksu angrily carried the plate and walked to Husan and sat down. Seeing this, Wen Jiu shrugged helplessly. She really just asked casually, and she didn't mean to laugh at Tumaksu's lack of knowledge. But then again, the other party's personality is quite like Zikingayu. Source. This is the second update today. Thank you little angels again. 030. Chapter 929 Crab roe soup dumplings and candied sweet potato 1. Tumaksu didn't know that Wen Jiu had classified him as the same kind as Zikingayu. He just wanted to know how such a big crab roe soup dumpling was made. At first, he was busy studying the chrysanthemum tofu and didn't take a serious look at the crab roe soup dumpling. Now he observed that the skin of the crab roe soup dumpling was so thin that it was almost transparent, and he could even see the golden soup inside. It was the first time he saw such a big crab roe soup dumpling, and it was also the first time he saw a soup dumpling with such a thin skin. He had made soup dumplings many times in the past, but if he asked himself, he couldn't make such a thin skin. It was crystal clear and had a faint watery light. There were 33 folds, not one less. You could tell at a glance how skilled Wen Jiu was. At first glance, it looked like a plump and round jade chrysanthemum that was about to bloom. Wow, this soup dumpling was made by Master Wen. Foxson came over curiously. "It's almost as big as my face. Master Wen is really amazing." Because they were all in the kitchen, they could get whatever they wanted at any time, so they didn't share the dishes like the rabbit spirits in Kingai Hall. Foxson was attracted by the stir-fried pork from the beginning, so he kept eating the stir-fried pork and sweet potato with candied shreds, and didn't take any other dishes. Hearing this, Tumaksu snorted awkwardly. "This is not that amazing. If I work harder, I can also make such a big soup dumpling." Although he was also impressed by Wen Jiu's cooking skills, the competition between him and his opponent had not yet been decided, and it would be embarrassing for him to admit defeat like this. Therefore, He didn't pay attention to Foxen anymore, but just picked up chopsticks and spoons to taste quietly. He first carefully picked up the crab roe soup dumpling, then bit a small hole in it, and the golden soup instantly flowed out. He didn't have time to catch it with a spoon, so he could only suck it with his mouth. The filling Wen Jiu used delicious chicken soup, thick pork skin, fresh vegetables cut into cubes, and crab roe and crab meat, which were mixed together and steamed. Therefore, the soup tasted very delicious, and it was satisfying. The soup was not greasy at all, and it had a rich layering. After he hurriedly drank the soup, he breathed a sigh of relief, and started eating the buns. The skin was as thin as paper, but not too soft, and it had a magical flexibility. The more you chew, the more delicious it is, and it is very enjoyable. It's amazing. Mark-su couldn't help but sigh. Seeing this, Husen threw his clean plate aside, and then hurried to the steamer, to get a crab roe soup bun. It is best to eat the crab roe soup bun immediately, after it is steamed, so after he showed that he wanted to eat it just now, Wen Jiu quickly put down the tabla and steamed it. It happened that the crab roe soup bun that belonged to him was steamed at this time, so he naturally wanted to take it over to taste it. So he ran back with the crab soup dumpling and sat down, trying to endure the heat, and imitated Mark-su's way of eating. The delicious soup not only had the fresh aroma of meat, but also the sweet and refreshing aroma of vegetables. He felt very satisfied after just taking a sip. He wanted to exclaim, but the endless flow of soup successfully blocked his talkative mouth, leaving him no time to say a word. Every drop of soup was a concentrated essence, and after sliding into his throat without paying attention to anything else, it instantly activated every cell in his body. Hiss. He finally finished the soup, and raised his head with a lingering feeling. How can there be such a delicious soup? Hearing this, Mark-su, who was tasting the crab roe soup dumpling carefully, glanced at him. You are not well informed, so you are often weird. You are talking as if you are well informed. He shook his head disapprovingly. Anyway, I think this soup is delicious. The other party paused when he heard this, and then just ate the crab roe soup dumpling without paying attention to anything he said. Seeing this, he stopped talking in boredom, and lowered his head to taste the crab roe soup dumpling. Although the dough is thin, it tastes very chewy. After being soaked in the soup, it becomes more fragrant the more you chew it. The filling made of various ingredients has an absolutely rich taste experience. First, there is the rich and fresh fragrance of pig skin and chicken, then the delicious impact of crab roe and crab meat, and then the sweet taste of vegetables. Layer after layer of different flavors, like layers of waves, hit him directly on the beach called delicious. He felt that, even if the waves killed him, he would be happy. On the other side, Chujian and Wen Jiu sat together, tasting the candied sweet potato made by Mark-su. The golden and crispy sweet potato was soft inside, and the sugar threads wrapped around it melted with a sip. It was sweet but not greasy, crispy, and smooth. They ate piece after piece, but still felt unsatisfied. It is said that sweet food makes people happy, and eating Mark-su's candied sweet potato can directly make people feel happy. I thought it would be choking, Chujian commented in a low voice while eating, but it tastes unexpectedly good, sweet but not greasy at all. Hearing this, Wen Jiu savored the sugar-coated sweet potato in his mouth. Mark-su's cooking skills are still very good. The sugar shreds he made melt in your mouth, and the sweet potatoes are crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. And the boiled cabbage I ate earlier, his was even better than mine. Before she finished speaking, Chujian raised his eyebrows and asked, so, you like him? Yes, such a human rabbit talent, she said and took another bite of the sugar-coated sweet potato. Then I must like him, and I have to win him down. If she just wanted to try to cooperate with the Jade Rabbit clan at the beginning, then now she must definitely reach a cooperation. Hearing this, the other party smiled, and didn't say anything. After a long while, he came closer again. By the way, what are those Lord Shen and Emperor Xiu they mentioned before? If I'm not mistaken, Lord Shen should be a monster called Shen. She thought for a moment, before answering in a low voice. You know what humans often call mirages? Shen is a monster that can create these illusions. After hearing this, Chujian couldn't help but show a hint of interest on his face. Is it really that magical? Wen Jiu first glanced at Tumaksu and Husan, confirming that the two monsters were not eavesdropping, and then continued to explain to Chuchayan in a low voice, I also read it from the mythology book, and I don't know whether it has this ability or not. Although she is a modern cultivator, the monsters she had encountered at that time could be counted on one hand. She had never seen a monster as big as Shen. This is the third update today, please check it out, little angels. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 930, Mirage River 1. Has everyone voted? Rabbit Shioshio wrote and drew on the notebook. If everyone has voted, I will go to the tribe leader to announce the results. After she finished speaking, the rabbit spirits nodded one after another. Seeing this, she picked up the notebook and bowed to everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come here. You can go back to do your own things now. Although it was natural for the rabbit spirits to obey the tribe leader's orders, she still said a thank you speech according to the tribe leader's instructions. After she finished speaking, she jumped out of the Kingai Hall. Seeing that Rabbit Shioshio had left, but the other rabbit spirits were still sitting in their seats, the elder smiled and said, since everyone is full and satisfied, let's do what we should do. The wheat for this season has not been harvested yet, so everyone has to work harder. With her words, the rabbit spirits dared to get up and walk to the door. After all the rabbit spirits at the scene had dispersed, the fourth elder said with a gloomy face, Grand Elder, do you really want to indulge Tumaksu like this? As the chief of the Jade Rabbit clan, how can he act so recklessly? The chief has his own arrangements. You don't need to ask anything else, she replied indifferently. Also, since you know he is the chief, don't call him by his name, otherwise I will punish you for disrespect. After she finished speaking, she stood up and walked out of the Kingai Hall slowly, leaving only the fourth elder with a look of disapproval. However, Tumaksu, who was in the kitchen, didn't know what happened in the Kingai Hall. He was still trying to get Wen Jiu to say something, but the other party refused to tell him anyway, and only said that they would talk slowly after the results of the competition came out. He was an impatient person, and Wen Jiu dragged him like this, which made him feel very uncomfortable. Good sister, please. Just tell me. He really couldn't help it, so he could only use his ultimate killer move. After these words came out, Fox-san, who was drinking soup, was so scared that he almost dropped the spoon on the ground. No, I'm a principled person. Wen Jiu forced himself to smile and pretended to be indifferent. And you are hundreds of years old this year. How dare you call me sister? Hearing this, Tumaksu was so angry that her eyes widened. How can I be hundreds of years old? I'm only in my early 200s this year. The sage is still considered young. Rabbit, do you understand? Yes, the patriarch is right. Wen Jiu pretended to shrug helplessly, which made Tumaksu even more depressed. Just when the man and the rabbit were deadlocked, Shioshio came into the kitchen with the result of the competition. When she first heard Tumaksu's voice outside the door, she thought that the other party had quarreled with Wen Jiu. So she hesitated for a long time before pushing the door open tremblingly. Fortunately, Tumaksu was just bickering with Wen Jiu, and there was no conflict that needed her to resolve. Report to the clan leader. The results of this cooking competition are out. As soon as Shioshio finished speaking, everyone in the kitchen looked at her, making her, who was already timid, nervous. Seeing this, Wen Jiu was the first to look away and smiled to ease the atmosphere. I don't know if the dishes I made are to the taste of the rabbit spirits. Yes, they are. Everyone ate up all 6 dishes made by Master Wen and the clan leader. After hearing this, she relaxed a little and then began to report the number of votes for each dish. First was the stir-fried pork with the lowest number of votes. It was not that this dish was not delicious, but that the rabbit spirits preferred vegetarian and light-flavored dishes. The second lowest was the 3 fresh vegetables, which only had 1 more vote than the stir-fried pork. Next was the boiled cabbage. This dish is very rare outside, but for the rabbit spirits who love to eat cabbage, it is a home cooked dish that all rabbits can cook. Because the crab roe soup dumplings and the sweet potato with candied silk have the same number of votes, they are tied for second place. Let's congratulate the chrysanthemum tofu that won first place. As soon as Toshio finished speaking, Chujian and Husan cheered together. Seeing this, Tumaksu on the side was not particularly disappointed because he had expected this result a long time ago. So after learning the result, he moved closer to Wen Jiu and continued to ask him how to make chrysanthemum tofu. Actually, I can teach you how to make chrysanthemum tofu, but let's talk about cooperation first, right? Wen Jiu's grey blue eyes flashed a bit of cunning. Don't forget what we agreed on before. If I win, you have to cooperate with me. Hearing this, he opened his mouth dully, and after a long while he replied aggrievedly, then what do you want to do? He will not regret it if he loses the bet. Wen Jiu thought for a moment before smiling and saying, don't worry, let's find a place to sit down and talk while we take notes. She came to Tumaksu with full sincerity, so she would not use a few words to deceive the other party. Before she came, she also specifically asked Zizio what to pay attention to when discussing cooperation, and what format to follow if she wanted to draft a contract. In short, she came to visit the Jade Rabbit clan this time, and she was fully prepared. Okay, Tumaksu gritted her teeth and agreed. Then let's move to the Jade Lotus Hall, he said and strode out of the kitchen, so angry that he didn't even look at Wen Jiu. Seeing this, Toshio explained awkwardly, Master Wen, in fact, our clan leader is not like this usually. He is very calm, cold, kind. She racked her brains, but couldn't think of a suitable adjective, and made Chujian and Husan laugh beside her. In short, our clan leader is usually very cold. She was so embarrassed that her face turned red like a big apple. Hearing this, Wen Jiu tried his best to remain calm. I know, let's go quickly, don't let the rabbit leader wait anxiously. After she finished speaking, she left the kitchen first, and Chujian and Husan hurriedly followed, leaving only Toshio standing in the kitchen at a loss. The main reason was that Tumaksu didn't say anything else when she left, so Toshio didn't know whether to follow her obediently or stay in the kitchen to clean up with other rabbit spirits. Just when Toshio was entangled for a while, Wen Jiu caught up with the angry Tumaksu. Why are you angry? After just a few words, Wen Jiu pretended to be ignorant and asked, are you angry that I didn't tell you how to make chrysanthemum tofu? After the words fell, Tumaksu stopped immediately. I didn't. After that, he quickened his pace and walked forward again. Because he was holding his breath in his heart, and Wen Jiu was chasing him closely behind him, he didn't have time to see the road ahead clearly. So he ran straight into a big pillar under such circumstances. This is the first update of today. Please check it out, little angels. Chapter 931, Mirage River 2. Ouch. Tumaksu covered her forehead and fell to the ground. Where did this pillar come from? Hearing the sound, Wen Jiu, who was chasing after him, looked over. He saw a tall man in a white robe, standing there with a smile, slowly waving a paper fan. His black hair was tied behind his head with a plain ribbon, and he looked quite otherworldly and cold. The snow-like robe was embroidered with golden auspicious clouds, which gave him an unattainable nobleness. But what attracted Wen Jiu the most was the pair of smiling and upturned phoenix eyes. Unlike Lu Yan's indifferent eyebrows all the time, the half-smile look in front of her was very charming. But after being amazed, she always felt that the man in front of her looked very familiar, as if she had seen him somewhere. Just as she was thinking about it carefully, the other party suddenly put away the fan, walked up and lightly lifted her chin. Little girl, you are looking at me straight like this. Are you attracted to me? Upon hearing this, Wen Jiu slapped her without hesitation. You are teasing her here. You don't want to die, right? However, before she touched the person in front of her, the other party floated behind her like a wandering soul. TSK, you are really angry. You should let DXIU teach you a lesson. Before she could open her mouth to refute, Tumaksu, who was sitting on the ground, said with a blank face, Lord Shen, didn't you go to retreat and practice? That's what I planned to do, Shenzing said, and floated to the front. I just thought that I haven't said goodbye to DXIU yet, so I came back to tell him. After speaking, Tumaksu got up and patted the dust. Oh. Then why did you come to Changle Palace? In fact, he hadn't seen Shenzing for more than 10 years, so he believed the other party's nonsense about retreating and practicing. The main reason is that the Mirage monsters always come and go without a trace. If they don't show up on their own initiative, ordinary monsters will never be able to find them. Now there is only one Mirage monster left in the world, Mirage Zing, so the difficulty of finding him is like letting a seed bloom and bear fruit in one day. I can go wherever I want. Why are you asking so many questions? As soon as Mirage Zing opened his mouth, he destroyed the temperament of the cold and exiled immortal. I haven't asked you where this human came from, and as soon as we met, you coveted my beauty and wanted to reach out and touch my beautiful face. If I hadn't reacted quickly enough, I'm afraid that this woman would have ruined my innocence. Where can I find the lovely Mirage sister in the future? Such a bad human. I'm really scared after saying this. Wen Jiu, who was annoyed by the weirdness, couldn't help but clench his fists. Isn't it said that the Mirage monsters are all very aloof? Did the Mirage monster in front of him have a genetic mutation? If Tumaksu hadn't known this Mirage monster, she would have taken out a sword and stabbed it through. Tumaksu remembered to introduce Wen Jiu after hearing this. This is Master Wen, who was introduced by the Snow Fox clan to visit our clan. He didn't take this opportunity to take revenge, but just introduced the other party politely. Hearing this, Shenzing opened his fan in a flash and looked at Wen Jiu with his upturned phoenix eyes half closed. Master? Are you a cultivator? I guess so. Wen Jiu looked straight over and happened to meet his gaze. I just resumed my cultivation recently. He chuckled when he heard this and said, really? Then you have a high talent. You have reached the foundation building stage so quickly. Before Wen Jiu could answer, he continued, as far as I know, humans nowadays are unable to practice and have learned a magical ability called superpowers. Where did you learn it from? Don't say that you are the chosen one who figured it out. I will not believe that nonsense from Long A Ocean. Well, it's a long story. Wen Jiu answered without any guilt. If you want to know, wait until I finish talking to the rabbit chief, and I will tell you slowly. Since Shenzhen could see through her cultivation at a glance, and also knew that superpowers were the mainstream in the human world today, there was no need for her to hide it. Anyway, the reason why she couldn't practice before was not something she couldn't tell him. If Shenzhen wanted to hear it, she could just tell him. However, everything had to wait until she and Tumaksu finished discussing the cooperation. She had finally managed to trick Tumaksu into falling for her, and of course, she couldn't give up at this juncture. Even if Shenzhen was a big monster, no one and no monster could stop her from doing business. Oh. Zuxu, what are you going to talk to this human about? Shenzhen became interested when he heard this. Are you going to worship her as your master? Although she has good talent, she is still a little short of being your master. Your vision shouldn't be that bad, right? Tumaksu took a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. No, don't call me Zu. In fact, he used to like his name very much, but ever since Shenzhen called him Zuxu at every turn, he wanted to change the name. But his name was chosen by his grandfather himself, and it was absolutely impossible for him to change a new name. Therefore, every time he heard Shenzhen calling him like this, he wanted to catch him and rub him on the ground. But the problem is that he can't beat Shenzhen at all, and he can't even catch him. It's annoying, too, really. Such a good name was ruined by Shenzhen. TSK, you youngsters are all very irritable, Shenzhen said, and began to float upwards. It seems that after DXIU wakes up, we have to carry out some educational classes. When he floated upwards like this, Wen Jiu discovered that the hem of his clothes below was as illusory as clouds and smoke. To put it bluntly, it was like a ghost. Master Shen is right. Tumaksu replied with gritted teeth. It's just that what I talked about with Master Wen was a private matter, and I hope that Master Shen can leave some room. It would be fine for him to lose face at other times, since Rabbit knows about Lord Shen's affairs, and won't say much anyway. But now he is in front of outsiders. There are not only 2 humans, but also a snow fox. He must maintain his face. However, Shenzing did not give him any face at all. It's not something shameful. Why not take me with you? No. No. I refuse. Tumaksu turned around and ran away in a hurry, fearing that he would be caught up by Shenzing. But he forgot one thing, that is, Wen Jiu and others were still there, and Shenzing could find where he hid by following them. So when he was lying in the Yulian hall to have a good rest, he looked up and saw Shenzing, whom he didn't want to see. Forget it. If the other party is willing to come, let him come. He was just worried that Shenzing would still reject humans and disagree with him, and Wen Jiu to reach that kind of cooperation. But now Shenzing is still easy to fool. He believes that with Wen Jiu's ability, he can definitely deal with the other party. Today's second update has also been successfully delivered. Thank you little angels for your support. 030. Chapter 932. Friends, do you want to earn star coins? The Mirage River was like a cloud, floating above the Jade Lotus Hall. Seeing this, Chu Jian couldn't help but lower his voice and asked, is this the legendary Lord Shen? Why does he look like a ghost? And his temper is like that of a child. Shh, Lord Shen has always been moody, don't make him angry, Foxson said, while secretly glancing up. Lord Shen's current form can barely be considered half demon, just like I keep my human form, but have fox ears and a foxtail. Hearing this, he nodded as if he understood. Is this Lord Shen the strongest monster? You can't say he is the strongest, Foxson started to explain to him. When he was free, Lord Shen's ability is mainly to create illusions, which are what you humans often call mirages. After entering Lord Shen's illusion, if you can't find the exit, or can't wake up in time, you will be trapped to death in it. However, for big monsters like DXIU, Phoenix, and Nine-Tailed Fox, once their abilities are stronger than Lord Shen, it will be easy for them to break the illusion. It's just that big monsters like the Phoenix and the Nine-Tailed Fox rarely appear anymore. Even Emperor Xiu, who is as old as the heaven and earth, fell into a deep sleep more than 100 years ago. So for now, Lord Shen is indeed the most powerful. He suddenly found a blind spot while listening. Wait, Emperor Xiu is also a monster? I thought it was the name of Emperor Xiu Valley. It can't be considered a monster. People of Emperor Xiu's level can already be called immortals. Husan patiently continued to explain for him. In fact, I don't know the specific situation. I have little contact with Emperor Xiu and Lord Shen. If you really want to know, you can ask Tumaksu. He didn't ask any more questions after hearing what the other party said. A man and a fox were chatting in a low voice here, and Wen Jiu was also chatting seriously with Tumaksu. So you want to buy vegetables and fruits from our Jade Rabbit clan, and then use them to open a restaurant, to make food and sell them to those humans? Tumaksu already knew Wen Jiu's idea, but he didn't agree with the other party very much, so his little face wrinkled into a ball. First, he felt that this was too troublesome, and second, he didn't trust Wen Jiu very much at present. The most important thing is that, if he reaches a cooperation with Wen Jiu, he can't get any benefits from it. Although he hasn't had contact with humans for a long time, and the number of humans he has contacted is no more than one hand, he often deals with other demon tribes, so he still knows about doing business. It's like this, because my friend and I's food factory is very large, and the food we make is to be sold all over the Interstellar, so we need a supplier who can provide a lot of ingredients. Wen Jiu answered Tumaksu's question calmly. In fact, she didn't lie. Our food really needs such a strong supplier. She and Ming Yihan will definitely cooperate for a long time. In addition, her reputation on the Star Network is getting bigger and bigger, so the food sold will naturally increase, which will greatly increase the production of Our food. And she has more than just a few recipes in her hands. Not only does she have to make a variety of snacks, but she will also make frozen foods and fresh foods in the future. Maybe she will develop in other directions in the future. In this way, the original food supplier is not enough. Although Ming Yihan can attract more suppliers, she still wants to find a reliable and stable supplier. Besides, she was determined to open Taoiao all over the galaxy, and she also planned to open several restaurants in the future, so the quality of the ingredients would naturally have to be improved. The only supplier that could provide a stable and large amount of high quality ingredients at a reasonable price was the Jade Rabbit clan. It couldn't be said that it was the Jade Rabbit clan alone. The Dog Demon clan she had previously negotiated with was also good. Unfortunately, the Dog Demons were only good at raising chickens and were not as good as her in farming. Oh, then what can we get if we, the Jade Rabbit clan, cooperate with you? Tumaksu sat on the chair with his arms crossed. I don't know if Uyi has told you that other demon tribes must give equivalent things if they want to exchange vegetables, fruits, and melons with the Jade Rabbit clan. Hearing this, Wen Jiu thought for a moment before seriously replying. To be honest, the only thing I can give you now is star coins, which is the currency used for transactions in the human world. Tumaksu smacked his lips when he heard this. We are the world of the demon tribe here, and your star coins are useless. He paused for a few seconds before continuing tentatively. However, I'm quite interested in the electrical appliances in your human world, and those so-called high-tech things are also good. For example, that automatic blender is much more comfortable to use than chopsticks. He had met a group of humans who came here to travel before, and he was very interested in the things they used at that time. It was a pity that before he could figure it out, he quarreled because the humans' cooking was too unpalatable, and in the end he left angrily. Wen Jiu thought quickly, and then she took out a lot of cooking machines from the Ziji space. Do you want these things? It happened that she put a lot of cooking utensils in the space, so she could take them out to tempt Tumaksu. When the other party saw the things she put on the table, a pair of red eyes lit up instantly. Tumaksu picked up a grater happily. That's it. It can directly shred carrots into radish shreds. Even a little rabbit can use it. What is it? Seeing this, Wen Jiu patiently explained. This is a manual grater. There is also an automatic one over there, but it needs to be powered on to use. I almost forgot. You can try this automatic grater. This one does not need to be plugged in and consumes energy stones. And the pink one over there was fully charged before I came here, so I can open it directly and use it. It was only later that she gradually came into contact with various high-tech tools. In addition to conventional manual tools and power-consuming tools, there are also various tools that consume energy stones to choose from. However, energy stones are mainly used in mecha drives, and the tools used by ordinary people rarely use energy stones. This grater, which consumes energy stones, was bought by Chujian out of sheer boredom. Tumaksu was very excited to try out various tools, and it was obvious that he was very interested in them. So when Jiu took the opportunity to say, do you remember the star coins I just told you about? As long as you earn star coins, you can buy these things. Not only can you buy them for yourself, you can also buy them for the rabbit spirits. In short, as long as you have star coins, you can buy anything. So friend, do you want to earn star coins? However, before Tumaksu could answer, the Mirage Galaxy suddenly floated down, and that handsome face was full of gloom. Chapter 933 Friends, do you want to earn star coins? I know that you, a human, have bad intentions. Shenzing said with an unhappy look. Don't think of using sweet words to deceive Zugsu, just because she is stupid and dumb. You humans only know how to deceive the simple demons. So I will never allow you to cheat here. Zugsu, drive this bad woman out. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone was silent. Only Tumaksu took a deep breath and said angrily, I'm not stupid and dumb. I'm smart. He really couldn't stand Shenzing. Since that incident, the other party's temperament has changed drastically, and his memory is not good. When DXIU was still there, he could suppress Shenzing. But now that DXIU has fallen into a deep sleep, Shenzing has become more and more lawless. Shenzing used to be very cold, but it's better not to mention it now. Master Shen, please take a good rest. He tried his best to suppress his anger. I know what I'm doing, and I will not be deceived by humans. As soon as he finished speaking, Shenzing's mouth corners bent down, and he put on a bitter face. Then the other party burst into tears. Zugsu, you are so cruel. You want to throw me away after using me. How can you do this? I gave you my whole heart, but you are so mean to me for this woman. Seeing this, Wen Jiu couldn't help but twitch his mouth. Although she expected Shenzing's moody temper, the other party's behavior was too. What? And Shen is a big demon after all. He shouldn't be like this, right? Tumaksu was silent for a long time before taking out a leaf. Master Shen, come look at this. As he spoke, he gently shook the green leaf in front of Shenzing's eyes. In just a few seconds, Shenzing's mood gradually stabilized, and he stopped crying. So he put the leaves back into his sleeves. I'll take Lord Shen to rest first. Please wait here for a while. After he finished speaking, he supported the calm Shenzing and walked out of the Yulian Hall slowly, step by step. Seeing this, Wen Jiu lay on the table thoughtfully. She always felt that Shenzing was weird, but she couldn't figure out the reason for a while, so she could only wait for Tumaksu to come back. After Tumaksu and Shenzing walked out, Chu Jian and Husan came over together. What happened just now? Why did Lord Shen suddenly become like a child? Chu Jian was nervous just now, fearing that Shenzing would attack Wen Jiu. Hearing this, Wen Jiu slowly shook his head. I don't know, but I think he is very strange. Yeah, I think so too, Husan agreed. I have met Lord Shen once, and he was not like this at that time. Wen Jiu asked curiously. When she heard this, what was he like at that time? Can you tell me about it? After her voice fell, Husan hesitated for a moment before answering. I was still young at that time. I only remember that Lord Shen was as cold as a banished immortal. No matter who he met, he had a cold face. So I only dared to look at him from a distance at that time. But Lord Shen's temper is really strange. To put it simply, he is moody. He can chat and laugh with monsters in the last second, and kill monsters with a cold face in the next second. Hearing this, she thought for a while. In other words, his temper is even weirder now than before. Maybe? Probably? Should? Husan shrugged helplessly. I don't know what Lord Shen is like. You should go back and ask Tumaksu about it. Their Snow Fox clan was not protected by Lord Shen, so he naturally didn't know about the other party's affairs. Moreover, a monster like Lord Shen who came and went without a trace, even if he wanted to contact and understand him, he had no chance. The one who knew Lord Shen the best among the monsters must be DXIU, who was in a deep sleep. But the way to DXIU was temporarily blocked, so he could only find Tumaksu as a second choice. Wen Jiu wanted to ask Husan a few more questions, but Tumaksu came back soon. The other party sat down with a tired face, and there was still sadness in his red eyes. Seeing this, she tentatively said, Leader Rabbit, did what I said just now anger Lord Shen? Yes and no. Tumaksu sighed very tiredly, but Lord Shen has no ill will towards you. He just doesn't like humans very much. Why did she find this sentence strange? He had no ill will towards her, but didn't like humans. Isn't she a person? However, she didn't rush to say more, just nodded calmly. I see. Then do I need to go to Lord Shen to explain? Not for now. Let's continue to talk about cooperation. You just said that these things can be bought with star coins, right? It was obvious that Tumaksu didn't want to talk more about Shenzing, so she didn't ask about it. Anyway, there is still a long time. After reaching a cooperation, she will often visit the Jade Rabbit clan. It's the same to ask when you are familiar with them. Yes, you will know. After looking at this, Wen Jiu said, and clicked on the light curtain panel, and opened the interface of the Star Network supermarket. She patiently explained to Tumaksu, while operating the panel skillfully. The moment the other party saw the light screen panel, he was attracted. How did they do this? It's so amazing. In short, it's human wisdom. She couldn't help but straighten her back proudly. Look here, Rabbit Chief, after you have star coins, you can choose what you want here, and then use star coins to pay for it. The things in the Stonet supermarket are usually sent by FedEx, and you can receive them within 3 days. However, things like fresh food will be delivered faster, usually in 24 hours. Oh, yes, this 24 hours refers to the official time of the Federation. Because the time on each planet is different, when the citizens of the Federation usually talk about time, they directly use the official time of the Federation. Hearing this, Tumaksu asked with a puzzled look, what is the Federation? What is FedEx? Is this the Stonet supermarket? Wen Jiu had already prepared to explain for Tumaksu, so when she heard the other party's 3 questions, she began to explain patiently. Fortunately, Tumaksu was not really stupid, and the other party quickly understood various words. Can this express be delivered to Emperor Xiu Valley? Tumaksu had already started to operate it, and he poked and tapped on the panel with interest. Hearing this, Wen Jiu supported his chin with one hand and replied, "For now, it should not be possible. Because there are no star tracks and air routes on the desolate star, it is highly likely that FedEx will not be able to deliver it." He frowned in dissatisfaction when he heard this. If it can't be delivered, then it's useless for me to buy it. Today's first update has been successfully delivered. Thank you little angels for your support and love. 030. Chapter 934 Friend, do you want to earn star coins? As soon as Tumaksu finished speaking, Wen Jiu smiled meaningfully. She had expected such a thing, so she had specially talked to Mingyahan and Ziziu on the way to Desolate Star. Desolate Star is an unregistered planet, and does not belong to the Federation. If she really reached a cooperation with the Jade Rabbit clan, she could buy Desolate Star through legal channels, and then figure out the star track and route herself. Yes, it was that simple and crude. Mingyahan and Ziziu also said very kindly that, if she wanted to buy Desolate Star, the 2 of them could jointly pay 2/3 of the star coins. But this proposal was eventually rejected by her, because she learned that buying a planet like Desolate Star would only cost 100 million star coins. And her savings had long exceeded 9 figures, so she could still take out 100 million. Well, she was floating. She was no longer the poor Wen Jiu of the past. She was now Wen Jiu, a wealthy woman with a lot of money. However, the reason why she made the decision to buy the planet was because she estimated the future income, and she was sure that she would be able to make back the money. In business, there would be no return without investment. She was very happy that Mingyahan and Ziziu were willing to help. Therefore, after the 3 of them talked, they decided that she would invest half, and the remaining half would be invested by Mingyahan and Ziziu. However, the premise of all this was that she could conquer the Jade Rabbit clan and impress Mingyahan and Ziziu with high quality fruits and vegetables. Although Ziziu and Mingyahan trusted her very much, she still had to deal with the matter objectively and not act recklessly. Seeing that Tumaksu looked very distressed, Wen Jiu assured her solemnly, "Don't worry, I can solve this problem. After all, I will collect vegetables and fruits produced by the Jade Rabbit clan in the future, so naturally I have to open up routes to facilitate transportation. With a stable route and a star track that manages the entry and exit, FedEx can naturally deliver here. So you should think about it carefully. Do you want to reach a cooperation with me?" After she finished speaking, Tumaksu pinched her eyebrows. "As a rabbit, I really want to cooperate with you. To be honest, our Jade Rabbit clan has no other strengths. We can only farm and raise various small animals, and we are particularly good at cooking. But these strengths are nothing to the Demon clan. After all, the vegetables, fruits, and melons we eat are all wild outside, and the same goes for small animals. Moreover, many demons like to eat raw meat and raw vegetables and fruits, which makes our cooking skills useless. So I hope that the strengths of the Jade Rabbit clan can be recognized and brought into play." In fact, Tumaksu still wanted to develop the Jade Rabbit clan, but the Jade Rabbit clan was born weak in fighting. The only strengths of the demons were farming and cooking. In the past, he could just let the rabbit spirits farm happily like the previous clan leaders. But now it is no longer possible. He must find a new way out. Anyway, I vote in favor. Tumaksu sighed sadly, but such a big thing is not decided by me. The elders need to vote. But you can rest assured, since I support it, I will help you canvass votes. Elders like the first elder, the second elder, and the fifth elder all have a good relationship with me, and they will definitely stand on our side. Hearing this, Wen Jiu couldn't help but hold his forehead in silence. Why didn't you say it earlier? How many elders do you have in your Jade Rabbit clan? Why did she spend so much effort on the competition just now? It would be better to defeat the elders of the Jade Rabbit clan one by one. Of course, she was just thinking about it casually. She is such a gentle and kind person, so of course she has to convince the rabbits with reason. As soon as she finished speaking, Tumaksu lowered her head with a guilty conscience. I didn't think so much at the moment. We have only 10 elders in the Jade Rabbit clan, and as long as 5 of them agree, it will be fine, because my vote also counts. Oh, okay. She looked at the other party with a smile. Then are you sure you can get all 5 elders to vote in favor? She remembered that Tumaksu had just said that the first elder, the second elder, and the 5th elder didn't have to worry, which meant that there were only 2 elders left to vote in favor to achieve this cooperation. Hearing this, Tumaksu pursed her lips and thought for a long time before she replied weakly, we now have 3 elders who voted in favor, and we just need to win over 2 more elders. By then, He had just said half of his words when he saw Wen Jiu staring at him. So he immediately changed his words and said, I will try my best to convince them. You don't need to do anything anymore. After he finished speaking, he quickly stood up and ran out like a puff of smoke, leaving only one sentence for Wen Jiu to wait for the result with peace of mind. Although he thought Wen Jiu was a nice person before, when the other party glared at him just now, he inexplicably felt a palpitation and fear. So the danger radar in his mind sounded instantly, and he gave up the idea of taking Wen Jiu to persuade the elders. Seeing this, Wen Jiu rubbed his head helplessly. She knew that this matter would not be solved so easily, but she didn't know whether Tumaksu could persuade the elders. Master Wen, don't worry, the Rabbit clan leader is still very reliable. Husan finally found an opportunity to speak. It's just that the elders of the Jade Rabbit clan are relatively backward in thinking, and I don't know if the Rabbit clan leader can deal with them. Because he has a lot of contacts with the Jade Rabbit clan, he has met several Jade Rabbit clan elders. Compared with the open and tolerant attitude of their Snow Fox clan, the Jade Rabbit clan can really be regarded as self-contained. Hearing this, Wen Jiu answered with a clear face, it doesn't matter. If he can't handle it, then I will help him. Indeed, at worst, I can convince him in other ways. Chujian on the side agreed. When the 2 people and the fox were chatting, they saw Toshio push the door and enter. Dear guests, the tribe leader asked me to take you to the flower and fruit hall to rest. Toshio's face flushed. I heard from the tribe leader that you are here to help our Jade Rabbit clan. Thank you very much. After the voice fell, Wen Jiu couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. You're welcome. This is what I should do, she said and stood up first and motioned to Toshio to lead the way. Seeing this, Husan and Chujian also stood up. The group turned left and right in Changle Hall and met little rabbits strolling around on the way. They walked for about 6 or 7 minutes before arriving at the flower and fruit hall for guests to rest. Okay, if you have any needs, you can come to me at any time. Toshio bowed very respectfully. I'll work in the Yunmeng hall next to it. After she finished speaking, she closed the door, leaving Wen Jiu and others to rest in the flower and fruit hall. Source today's second update has also been successfully delivered. 030. Chapter 935. Current situation on planet 3047. 1. Miss Tao, how was business today? Was it going well? Is Zio Teozi here? I brought her a pretty skirt. As soon as Zikingayu and Kaioshishi came out of 3047 Academy, they took the hovercraft and headed straight to Teo Iao in Danghu shopping mall. They have been in school for more than half a month, and they come to Teo Iao every weekend to check. But they have to thank Huan Kyumi and Uruman for giving them the freedom to leave school on weekends. It went very smoothly. The desserts made in advance were sold out in less than an hour, so Zio Teozi and I will make and sell them at the same time. Miss Tao was counting the amount of ingredients consumed in the morning business. When she saw Zikingayu and Kaioshishi coming in, she couldn't help but smile happily. As soon as she finished speaking, Tao Zio Teo, who was checking the machine at the side, said, yes. Sister Shishi, did you bring the princess dress I like? Hearing this, Kaioshishi took out a gift box with a smile. Guess it, you can open it after the business closes in the afternoon. Since she found out that Tao Zio Teo liked to wear princess dresses, she often bought beautiful princess dresses for her. Every time she saw Tao Zio Teo's smile, she felt extremely satisfied. Okay. The other party puffed up her little face somewhat helplessly. By the way, Sister Shishi, did Nini arrive safely? Because Stephanie needed to take the entrance examination of Ria Military Academy, she set off for Kronos last week. Uruman also specially sent someone to accompany her to prevent Stephanie from getting into trouble in an unfamiliar place. Kyoshi nodded after hearing this. She just arrived at Kronos this morning, and the entrance exam will be next week, so she has plenty of time to adapt to the environment. Speaking of the entrance exam, it's a good thing we didn't apply to Beichuan Academy. Zikingai always found an opportunity to interrupt. When I was browsing the Star blog last night, I saw many people who took the entrance exam for Beichuan Academy complaining. As he said this, he clicked on the light screen panel and let Taozaoteo and Kyoshi watch it together. Hiss, this year's exam is actually about painting ink paintings. Kyoshi widened his eyes in astonishment. It seems that the admission rate of Beichuan Academy will not be high this time. Hearing this, he nodded in agreement. Yes. The people I know all treat ink painting as a hobby and rarely study it. It just so happens that my brother has a friend's younger brother who took the entrance exam for Beichuan Academy. He said that after the exam, he felt that his life was bleak. He couldn't help but feel fortunate in his heart when he said this. Fortunately, Wen Jiu did not choose Beichuan Academy. Otherwise, his fame and title of genius would be ruined by Beichuan Academy. Ha 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 ha. This comment made me laugh to death. Taozaoteo said, although she was just a simulation, she was very emotional. Look, this person said he wanted him to paint ink paintings, but why not let him eat bananas while spinning around? When Zikingai and Kyoshi heard this, they laughed together, which aroused the curiosity of Miss Tao, who had just counted the ingredients, and she joined their chat. However, as they chatted, Miss Tao suddenly asked about Wen Jiu. I asked last night, and Jiu said it would take another month. Zikingai switched the interface to the chat box between him and Wen Jiu. But the good news is that Jiu and his mutations have been suppressed, and Jiu has found a way to suppress them for a long time. He and Kyoshi would post messages in the group every day, and they would share, no matter big or small. But most of the time, it was Chujian who responded. The main reason was that when Jiu had too many things to deal with, in addition to Mingyahan, Zizio and Uruman, he also had to communicate with the demon tribes on various matters to make progress smoothly, so the other party did not show up in the group very often. He and Kyoshi understood Wen Jiu very well, so they never cared about this. That's great. Taozioteo's personality was more lively, so she couldn't help but cheered for a while. Seeing this, Miss Tao smiled happily. It's good. Taozioteo and I will take good care of Teo Iao, and Boss Wen and Boss Chu just need to solve the problem with peace of mind. Since the 5-member team had something to do and left here, Teo Iao was handed over to Miss Tao and Taozioteo for management. However, Zizio still followed the agreement and asked the people sent to continue to help Teo Iao. He even came to inspect from time to time to avoid the situation of lip service. Kyoshi took out a gift box from the Ziji space and handed it to Miss Tao, who liked fishtail skirts. Here, this is for you thanks to Wen Jiu. She earned a lot of star coins. Now she not only has star coins to pay tuition, but also has extra star coins to buy things. Miss Tao is the first bionic person to come, and the other party has been working hard, so she naturally treats everyone equally. Thank you, Boss Kyo. Miss Tao accepted the gift box with great surprise. I will wait until the business closes in the afternoon before opening it. Because Tao Yao didn't have any situation to deal with, Kyoshi and Zikingai seized the time and took the floating bus to Uruman's hospital. Before entering the hospital, Kyoshi bought a bouquet of flowers like Wen Jiu did. During this period, Uruman's condition has been getting better and better, and now she is preparing for skin grafting surgery. Thanks to the improved formula and special formula provided by Wen Jiu, and thanks to Zhu Wangming's long-term careful care, Uruman's recovery speed has been greatly improved. Teacher Yu, we are here to see you. Kyoshi pushed the door open with flowers in one hand. I thought the lavender in the flower shop was pretty good, so I bought some. It can help me calm my mind. Uruman was seen leaning lazily on the bed. She was watching a new comedy movie and giggling from time to time. So she walked to the bedside skillfully, took out the flowers, and put them aside. Hey? Teacher Yu, the movie you are watching is starred by my favorite actress. Yu Ruman smiled and asked, when she heard this, is it Zhuang Rudi? I saw people praising her acting skills on Xingbo, so I asked Dr. Zhu to choose this movie for me. Yes, it's Zhuang Rudi. She clenched her fists excitedly when she heard this. This is her first time trying a comedy, and she is working with a virtual idol, so many people didn't see it well before. Fortunately, RDD is very competitive and acted very well in this comedy. Now the box office is almost over 1 billion. She took care of the flowers while talking, and Yu Ruman listened while watching the movie. Not long after, Ziqingyu and Zhuang Ming entered the ward together. This is the third update of today. Thank you little angels again. 030. Chapter 936. Current situation on planet 3047. 2. Ziqingyu ran over Teacher Yu. He originally wanted to come to the ward with Kaioshishi, but he had something private to talk to Zhuang Ming about, so he went to the office after going upstairs. Hearing this, Yu Ruman turned her head very slowly. Xiao Bangli is here too. I was just wondering why I only saw Huahua but not you. Since when Jiu went to the Desolate Star, Kaioshishi and Ziqingyu took the initiative to take the task of accompanying her. Although these two children are not as careful as Wen Jiu, they are cute and lively, and they always make her happy, so she still likes to get along with them. She also understands that Wen Jiu has to leave, so she never complains. Although Wen Jiu cannot accompany her all the time, he will take time out every day to send her a message to report that he is safe, and also remind her to take medicine well. With such a caring little cotton jacket, the company of lovely students, and the careful care of Zhuang Ming, her mood will naturally be good when she is in a good mood. Zhuang Ming said that if she continued to recover at this rate, she would be discharged from the hospital when the cold season arrived. She naturally hoped that she could be discharged from the hospital as soon as possible. People who lie in bed for a long time are prone to lose their fighting spirit. She didn't want to be depressed and live her life in a daze. Besides, Wen Jiu is still in crisis, and she hopes that she can do her best to help him. Hey, I just went to talk to Dr. Zhu, Ziqingyu said as she took out a lunchbox. He handed the lunchbox to Zhuang Ming first, and then helped Kaioshishi wash the vase. Did Miss Tao make it today or Tao Xiao? Although Yu Ruman couldn't eat yet, it didn't stop her from being greedy. Because Zhuang Ming was used to eating the food made by Wen Jiu, he handed the lunchbox to Miss Tao and Tao Xiao before he left. Usually, Zhuang Ming would go to Tao Iao to get the food when he was free, and if he was not free, Miss Tao would send a robot to deliver it. For example, on weekends, when Ziqingyu and Kaioshishi are free, they will bring lunch boxes when they come to the hospital to see Yu Ruman. It's made by Xiao Taozi, Zhuang Ming knew when he saw the smiley face painted on the rice with sauce. Xiao Taozi always likes to make sweet and sour food, and likes to make all kinds of food look cute. Bionic people have a very rich emotional system, and they can even automatically generate different preferences. Although Miss Tao and Tao Xiao are both bionic people, the former prefers a mature style in dressing, and prefers lighter food when cooking. The latter is closer to a sweet and cute style, and prefers sweet and sour flavors when cooking. Hearing this, Yu Ruman retracted her gaze. Okay, then remember to eat with your back to me. After she finished speaking, she stared at the movie and tried to cover up the fact that she was a little greedy. Okay, got it. Zhuang Ming turned around happily. By the way, the entrance exam for a military academy will be held next week, and I wonder if Nini is ready. Because he was busy researching various potions, Stefani's exam was handled by Ruman. After he finished speaking, Ziqingyu quickly replied, Nini just arrived at Kronos this morning, and she has a week to adapt to the environment. And Teacher Lee told us that with Nini's level, there will definitely be no problem for her to take the entrance exam. That's good. He chatted while eating a box lunch. The natural environment of Kronos is very special, completely different from the natural environment of our planet 3047, so I'm worried that Nini can't adapt. Just like the hot season and cold season on planet 3047, Kronos also has a unique natural environment. Zikingai nodded in agreement. Shishi and I were also worried, but Nini said that the exam venue this time is in Evernight City, which is simply a paradise for her as a night owl. I remember that Evernight City seems to have only 4 hours of daylight. Uruman had already finished watching the funny movie and joined their chat. If Nini likes to stay up late, then Evernight City is indeed suitable for her. The most famous cities on Kronos are Evernight City and Light City. The former has only 4 hours of daylight in a day, and the rest of the time it is a dark night with a full moon hanging high. The latter has only 4 hours of night in a day, and the rest of the time it is a sunny and warm day. The four of them were chatting, and suddenly they heard a knock on the door. TSK, I knew you were all here. Zizio walked in a suit and tie, with a confident smile on his handsome face. Seeing this, Zikingai couldn't help but snorted. Didn't you say you were going to work overtime today? How come you have time to come to the hospital now? He had contacted Zizio to come to the hospital early in the morning, but the other party refused on the grounds of having to work overtime. How do you know I'm not working overtime in the hospital? Zizio said as he clicked on the light screen panel. I came here specifically to find Teacher Yu. Some work requires Teacher Yu's cooperation. Hearing this, Zhu Wangming quickly put down his lunchbox. With Teacher Yu's current physical condition, she can't run around. Do you have any work that requires her cooperation? How about I help you get it done? Although he didn't know what Zizio came to find Uruman for, he thought that the other party's work required running around, so he took the initiative to make such a suggestion. However, Zizio smiled and shook his head. These jobs don't require Teacher Yu to go out, as long as she looks at the agreement and signs it. Oh, maybe she has to go through the process on the Star Network. Huh? What kind of work? Uruman turned her head curiously. Kyoshi was thoughtful enough to give her an extra pillow so that she wouldn't feel uncomfortable when tilting her head. As soon as she finished speaking, she saw Zizio enlarge the light screen panel. Wen Jiu has reached a cooperation with the Jade Rabbit clan, so she plans to buy the desolate planet. Mr. Ming and I will jointly provide half of the funds, and the remaining half will be provided by her alone. That's why this desolate planet will be under the name of Wen Jiu. But according to federal law, underage citizens cannot own assets, so now we need Teacher Yu to cooperate with the process. Hearing this, she couldn't help but ask in astonishment, has Zio Jiu talked to the Jade Rabbit clan so quickly? Also, have you found a good channel to buy the desolate planet? She knew that Wen Jiu wanted to buy the desolate planet, but she didn't expect the progress to be so fast. Yes, Mr. Ming and I were also surprised, Zizio said as she retrieved the information. Mr. Ming has already taken care of the channels. Now you, Teacher Yu, just need to sign on behalf of Wen Jiu, and then wait until next week to go through the auction process. After hearing this, she nodded in agreement. Because her hand injury had not yet recovered, she could only use iris verification instead of signing. Jiang, today's first update has been successfully delivered. Thank you little angels for your support. 030. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 937, Fried Skewers 1. Yes, after pressing it down, sprinkle some water on the tofu, and then you can start cutting the tofu with the cross knife method. Wen Jiu was teaching Tumaksu how to make chrysanthemum tofu, while Chujian and Husan were eating melon seeds together. The Jade Rabbit tribe planted many sunflowers, and these few days were just the harvest time, so Chujian and Husan had a good time. I see, then I'll try it first. Tumaksu held the knife in one hand and pressed the tofu with the other hand and then began to try slowly. Seeing this, Wen Jiu smiled and nodded. Okay, then I'll go make lunch first. Chujian and Husan stayed in the Jade Rabbit tribe these days and finally waited for Tumaksu to bring exciting good news. That is, after the Great Elder convened a tribe meeting, the cooperation plan she proposed was successfully passed. Only the 3rd Elder, the 4th Elder and the 6th Elder voted against, while the remaining 7 Elders and Tumaksu voted in favor. After she learned the good news, she immediately contacted Ming Yehan and Ziziu and asked them to start preparing the procedures for buying the desolate star. What are you going to cook today? Tumaksu patiently cut the tofu. By the way, the Great Elder sent Tu to tell you this morning that he wants to see you in Kingai Hall in the afternoon. Hearing this, Wen Jiu answered, while washing the ingredients, I'll just make some fried skewers. Do you want to eat with us? Of course. I have to taste your cooking skills. Tumaksu poured some water on the tofu again. Did you hear what I said just now? I said the Great Elder will see you in Kingai Hall in the afternoon. She put the washed ingredients on the chopping board. I heard it. Isn't it just a meeting and a chat? Do I have to wear a dress? In fact, she really wanted to meet the Great Elder. She heard from Toshiro Shiro that the other party was Tumaksu's mother-in-law and the most cultivated rabbit spirit in the Jade Rabbit clan. If the Great Elder had not strongly approved of her cooperation with Tumaksu, the other elders would not have agreed to it so easily, no matter how good their relationship with Tumaksu was. Forget it, I don't care about you. After Tumaksu put down the knife, he carefully held the tofu and put it in the basin, and then began to shake it gently and slowly. In just a few seconds, a beige chrysanthemum appeared in his palm. When he saw this scene, his ears instantly stood up. Wow. It turns out that tofu can really be turned into flowers in this way. Of course, I won't lie to you. Wen Jiu quickly processed all kinds of ingredients. By the way, where is Lord Shen? I didn't see him this morning. Although there was some unpleasantness between her and Shenzing, the other party had been shamelessly coming to eat for free these days, and the relationship between them eased a little. In the past, when she was cooking, Shenzing would float in like smoke and join in the ranks of eating melon seeds. But now it was noon, and she didn't see him appear. Hearing this, the excited Tumaksu was stunned for a moment, and then he pretended to be calm and answered, Lord Shen is a busy man with a lot of things to do every day. He also has to protect the safety of all the monsters living in the green grass garden. Naturally, he will not stay in the Emperor's Valley to play with us all the time. Oh, so that's the case. Wen Jiu didn't even raise his head, just continued to string the ingredients. Seeing this, he secretly breathed a sigh of relief. He was afraid that Wen Jiu would ask more about Shenzing. You know, he is not a rabbit spirit who is good at lying. Fortunately, the other party did not mean to ask more, but just quietly made fried skewers. Speaking of which, I can also make fried skewers. He thought about it and decided to change the subject. I just don't know if your human way is the same as ours. Hearing this, Wen Jiu handed over the basin of vegetables. It should be the same. String them into skewers and then fry them and sprinkle them with ingredients. Just the difference in the recipe. She pretended to look at Tumaksu unintentionally, only to see that the other party's forehead was full of sweat and he looked very guilty. It seems that there is something else going on with the matter of the Mirage Galaxy, but Tumaksu is unwilling to say more. But it doesn't matter, as long as the Mirage Galaxy does not affect her cooperation with the Jade Rabbit clan. She has no interest in meddling in other matters. So she continued to follow Tumaksu's words, and after quickly stringing the ingredients with him, she began to make fried skewers. It just so happened that today the civet cats sent a lot of pheasants from the forest to express their gratitude. Wen Jiu slaughtered and split the pheasants and made a lot of palm treasures, chicken wings, chicken feet, and chicken skewers. Master Wen, you understand me. As a fox spirit, Husan couldn't resist the temptation of chicken. As soon as he smelled the fragrance, he pounced over and immediately picked up a string of palm treasures. There was a little chicken hanging on the crispy and salty palm treasures, and there was a crunchy sound when he bit into it. The tempting fragrance spread between the lips and teeth in an instant, and the spicy and fragrant seasoning stimulated the secretion of saliva. Compared to the tender and juicy pure chicken, this kind of palm treasure is very chewy and quite interesting to eat. And when you eat it, it has the chewiness of crispy bones and the bursting taste of chicken. Hiss, Master Wen, you are really good at cooking. Foxson praised Wen Jiu while eating. I can eat another 100 skewers of palm treasure. Hearing this, Chu Jian, who had just picked up a string of chicken skin, snorted lightly. You have to have so many skewers of palm treasure if you want to eat it. As he spoke, He pulled a piece of chicken skin, and the hot fat flowed into his mouth, with a rich aroma of burnt meat. It was soft and smooth, with the toughness of meat skin, and the fragrant and strong taste lingered for a long time. The more you chew, the more fragrant it is, and the more you eat, the more enjoyable it is. Wen Jiu also picked up a string of chicken. She tasted it, and it tasted good, so she picked up another string of chicken wings, and continued to eat. But while the two of them and the fox were feasting, Tumaksu took a bunch of fried vegetarian dishes, and started to taste them. Rabbit leader, you don't eat any meat at all? Foxon was so happy that he couldn't help but joked. The chicken skewers made by Master Wen are very delicious. If you don't eat them, you will really lose a lot. Hearing this, Rabbit Maksu immediately shook his head. I don't want it. I got tired of eating meat the past 2 days, so I'll eat some vegetarian food today. After he finished speaking, he ate a piece of golden fried potato, which was crispy on the outside and soft and delicious on the inside. It tasted delicious after mixing with spicy seasonings. Then he tasted fried oyster mushrooms, fried bean curd skin, fried eggplant and other vegetarian dishes. Each one had a unique flavor, and he was very satisfied. The fried oyster mushrooms were fried with a layer of egg liquid. They were crispy and fragrant with the aroma of mushrooms. They were very addictive to eat. The fried bean curd skin was wrapped with some leeks. When you take a bite, you can taste the freshness of bean curd skin and the rich spicy flavor of leeks. As for the fried eggplant, it tasted soft and delicious, and it also had a little fragrance. Today's second update was also delivered smoothly. Thank you again for the support of the little angels. 030. Chapter 938 Changes Must Be Made 1. After lunch, the two, a fox and a rabbit, were very satisfied. After they cleaned up the kitchen together, the rabbit spirit beside the great elder and Toshiro knocked on the door. So Tumaksu took Wen Jiu to the Kingai Hall, while Chujian and Foxon followed Toshiro to the back mountain to experience the activity of picking tea leaves. Don't worry, the great elder is very understanding of rabbits, Tumaksu said as she walked, comforting Wen Jiu in a low voice. She is the most amiable rabbit spirit in our Jade Rabbit clan, and she won't embarrass you. However, Wen Jiu was not worried about anything. She was just thinking about how she should answer if the great elder asked questions. Seeing that she had not answered, Tumaksu quietly stuffed something into her hand. This can calm your mind. The other party deliberately lowered his voice. You have to give it back to me when you get to the door later. I only have this one. Hearing this, she couldn't help but spread her hands curiously. Only then did she realize that what Tumaksu stuffed into her was a leaf as green as jade. She remembered that when Shenzing lost control of his emotions, the other party had taken out this leaf to deal with Shenzing. Shh, don't ask me what this is. Tumaksu seemed to have noticed her doubts. Anyway, it's a good thing. Remember to return it to me later. After the other party finished speaking, he strode forward and chatted with the rabbit spirit who led the way. Seeing this, Wen Jiu couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. She remembered that the Xiu was one of the legendary sacred trees, which had the magical effect of forgetting sorrow and calming emotions. It seems that the leaf that Tumaksu stuffed into her was the leaf of DXIU. It must be said that this is indeed the most beautiful leaf she has ever seen. Emerald green without even a trace of impurities. And just holding it in her palm like this can calm her fluctuating emotions. Such a good treasure. I don't know if she will have the chance to take one back. As she thought about it, Tumaksu and the rabbit spirit in front stopped. We are here. The elder is waiting for you inside. The rabbit spirit retreated respectfully to the side. Seeing this, Tumaksu couldn't help but take a deep breath. I know. You go down first. After he finished speaking, he walked to Wen Jiu's side and took back the leaves without leaving a trace. Don't worry, the elder is really easy to talk to. However, he seemed to be comforting Wen Jiu, but in fact he was cheering himself up. Although the elder was his mother-in-law, she was quite fierce when she got angry. Hearing this, Wen Jiu smiled and said, I know. Then wait for me to get ready, and we will go in together. In fact, no matter what kind of personality the elder has, it doesn't matter. Anyway, she can convince the rabbit with reason or fists, as long as the other party doesn't commit suicide in front of her. However, at this time, the man and the rabbit didn't know that in addition to the elder, there were 9 other elders of the Jade Rabbit clan in the Kingai Hall. Elder, I don't understand why you have to cooperate with this human. Have you forgotten the lesson before? The third elder sat in his seat with a dissatisfied look on his face. When he thought about meeting humans soon, he felt uncomfortable all over. After the words fell, the fourth elder in his camp immediately spoke up. Yes, our Jade Rabbit tribe lives well in the Emperor's Valley and can be self-sufficient. Why do we have to cooperate with humans? If our Jade Rabbit tribe must cooperate with foreign tribes, we can choose to join forces with the more powerful demon tribe. Humans are bad and treacherous. They took the initiative to come to us this time. They must have bad intentions. After the fourth elder finished speaking, he winked at the sixth elder. Seeing this, the sixth elder quickly cleared his throat and said, the fourth elder's words make sense. In fact, if our Jade Rabbit tribe wants to cooperate, we can find the Flying Tiger tribe and the Lion tribe to cooperate. These humans are ignorant of their roots and bottoms. If they stab our Jade Rabbit tribe in the back, we don't know how to solve it. However, he didn't expect that the eighth elder, who had been staying out of the matter, laughed out loud just after he finished speaking. Eighth elder, what do you mean? He looked over in confusion. After saying this, the eighth elder rolled his eyes and said, do I need to say it clearly? I just think you three are quite funny. I admit that our Jade Rabbit clan does not understand humans, but do we understand the Flying Tiger clan and the Lion clan? The Flying Tiger clan has always been bullying our people, and you actually want to cooperate with such a demon clan? I think you three have been in the Emperor's Valley for too long, and you really think that the demon clan will live in peace wherever you go. The sixth elder was very angry when he heard this, but he couldn't find the right words to refute. Because he and the third elder were both in charge of breeding, and the fourth elder was in charge of the tea garden in the back mountain, the three rabbits had not left the Emperor's Valley for a long time, and they really didn't know what was going on outside the Emperor's Valley. Yes, if it weren't for the formation protecting the Emperor's Valley, and Lord Shen patrolling from time to time, I'm afraid the Flying Tiger clan would have already joined other demon clans to break in. The fifth elder was originally in the camp of the great elder, so he naturally had to stand up and say a few words at this time. After the fifth elder finished speaking, the expressions of the other elders became serious. Seeing that they had all quieted down, the great elder cleared his throat and spoke, do you think I have never thought about finding a powerful demon tribe to cooperate with? But in addition to being good at farming, breeding, and cooking, what other skills do our Jade Rabbit tribe have that can be exchanged for help from other demon tribes? She had just said this when the fourth elder stiffened his neck and said, aren't there many demon tribes looking for us to exchange food? This shows that our Jade Rabbit tribe is still valuable. Then have you ever thought that, even if they don't trade with our Jade Rabbit tribe, they still have wild fruits, vegetables and wild animals outside to eat? She glanced at the fourth elder with a cold face. It is precisely because we are so replaceable that we are worthless to other demon tribes. We lack the ability to fight other demon tribes, so we can only live in the closed days of Emperor Xiu Valley. In the past, we had Lord Shen and Emperor Xiu to protect us, but now I won't say more about this. If we want to continue to live such a stable life, we must make changes and have the ability to protect ourselves. We should be able to protect ourselves, instead of relying on joining forces with other demon tribes and letting them protect us. Otherwise, what awaits our Jade Rabbit tribe in the future must be destruction. She used to be reluctant to speak too bluntly, so as not to hurt the hearts of other rabbit spirits. But she found that there were always some stubborn rabbits. If she didn't speak frankly and seriously, they would never know the seriousness of the matter. The reason why she advocated cooperating with Wen Jiu was not to develop the industry of the Jade Rabbit clan, but to enable every rabbit spirit to have the ability to protect itself. Today's third update has also been delivered by the Little Angels. Please check it out. Lovely Little Angels. 030. Chapter 939 changes must be made too. As soon as the great elder finished speaking, all the elders fell silent. They all knew that the Jade Rabbit clan could no longer stand still, so they thought about seeking cooperation with other tribes to help the Jade Rabbit clan. For example, the 9th elder and the 10th elder, who often went out to do business, have been trying to get along well with the demons in the green grass garden. This is also the reason why Tumaksu sent to Shio to deliver herbs to help, as soon as he learned that the civet cats were attacked by other demons. Although the civet cats are not good at fighting, they are part of the green grass garden after all. If the demons really attack the Emperor Xiu Valley, the civet cats can also help out for the sake of kindness. After a long silence, the third elder said, Lord Shen is still here, so there is no need for us to be so anxious. Besides, it's not that we don't want to become stronger, it's that we are born with weak fighting ability. Don't you know what Lord Shen is like now? The 8th elder was so angry that he laughed. Lord Shen's temperament has changed drastically since that incident, and now his memory is declining, and his cultivation is also declining. Under such circumstances, you still want Lord Shen to protect you. I think you haven't woken up yet. He was speechless by the 8th elder's words, and his old face was as hen with anger. But no matter how angry he was, he couldn't say anything to refute, because what the 8th elder said was the truth. Seeing this, the 4th elder quickly stepped forward to help. Can humans help us? Those big monsters can kill a group of humans with a spell. In this case, humans can't even protect themselves. How can they help our Jade Rabbit clan? It seems that the clan rules of our Jade Rabbit clan should be changed. Otherwise you always stay in one position and do fixed things, and even your horizons become narrow. The first elder shook his head disappointedly. You really should go out more and see the outside world. When she said this, she looked at the 4th elder. 4th elder, you haven't seen the outside world for a long time. Humans are no longer something we can control at will. Their science and technology are advancing rapidly, and they have developed a variety of weapons. Even a 6-year-old child with a laser gun can easily shoot a tiger spirit. Since our Jade Rabbit clan's innate combat ability is extremely weak, we must use this kind of armed force to make up for it. After she finished speaking, except for the 9th and 10th elders who often walked outside, the other elders were all shocked. Especially the 4th elder who always thought that humans were weak and stupid. The other party's face was full of disbelief. Seeing this, she couldn't help but sighed. You have been isolated from the world for too long, and you don't know what earth-shaking changes have taken place outside. After the voice fell, the elder's present fell into deep thought again. Just at this time, Tumaksu brought Wen Jiu in, which made the dejected elders cheer up. Good afternoon, elders. This is Master Wen Jiu next to me. Tumaksu took Wen Jiu directly to the highest seat. This seat is big, you sit next to me. The position of the clan leader is much larger than the position of the elder, and it is no problem to accommodate the two of them. However, Wen Jiu shook his head in disdain. No, you move a chair over for me, I'll sit below. He couldn't help but pout when he heard this, but he still did what Wen Jiu said. So the elders looked at Tumaksu, who ran to the door happily and brought a chair for Wen Jiu to sit on. It can be said that they were shocked. Chief, how can you be driven by a little human? The third elder slapped the table in dissatisfaction. Seeing this, Tumaksu spread his hands disapprovingly. She is my friend. What's wrong with me moving a chair for my friend? Can you stop being so pretentious? He never liked the third elder very much. He always felt that the other party was an old stubborn who stuck to the rules and always warned him that as a patriarch, he must do this and that. It was so annoying. He didn't want to be controlled by two all the time. Tumaksu, don't think that you are a patriarch. The third elder was so angry that he stood up directly. However, before the other party finished speaking, the elder coughed and interrupted. The clan leader is the clan leader. You should stop interfering. Besides, Master Wen is a distinguished guest of our clan, and moving a chair is nothing. That's right. The elder is right. Tumaksu hurriedly pressed Wen Jiu on the chair, and then jumped to the position of clan leader. Seeing this, the elder shook his head helplessly. If her eldest son, whom she was proud of, had not passed away early, Tumaksu would not have inherited the throne at such a young age. Fortunately, Tumaksu's ability is still very outstanding, but she is still young, so she is a little jumpy. Since the people and rabbits who should come are here, we can start today's meeting. After the great elder cleared his throat, He looked at Wen Jiu in a friendly manner. Master Wen, I didn't tell you in advance that there were so many elders here. I hope you can understand. As soon as she finished speaking, the other party smiled and said, "It's okay. It just so happens that everyone is here today. I can answer any questions at once. Thank you very much for your understanding, Master Wen." She didn't expect Wen Jiu to be so easy to talk to. Did everyone hear what Master Wen said? If you have any questions, just ask them. By the way, Master Wen's time is very precious. I hope you will think about it before you speak. Although she strongly agreed to reach a cooperation with Wen Jiu, she still wanted to know what the other party really thought. After all, cooperation with humans is a big deal, and she must observe the other party carefully. If Wen Jiu only wants to use the Jade Rabbit clan, she would rather break the contract than agree to cooperate. People can pretend for a while, but not for a lifetime. The elders present are all rabbit spirits who have lived for hundreds of years. Although they don't have much contact with humans, it is still no problem for them to distinguish between true feelings and false intentions. Since the Great Elder and Master Wen have said so, I won't be polite. The first to ask the question was the smiling 8th Elder. Master Wen wants to purchase a large number of vegetables and fruits from our tribe, doesn't he? I want to ask what price Master Wen plans to offer. The 8th Elder is in charge of the currency of the Jade Rabbit tribe, so this is what she cares about most. She knew that too. Marxu said that Wen Jiu was willing to use star coins to purchase vegetables and fruits, but the question is what price the other party wants to purchase them at, and what is the ratio of star coins to Jade Rabbit tribe currency, and can star coins really buy everything? How can they be delivered to the Jade Rabbit tribe after they are bought? She asked all the doubts in her heart, and then put on an ambiguous smile, quietly waiting for Wen Jiu's answer. Today's first update has been successfully delivered. Please check it out. Little Angels 030. Chapter 940 Changes Must Be Made 3. Thank you for the questions raised by the 8th Elder, Wen Jiu said as he opened the light curtain panel. Then please look here next. As early as when she communicated with Ming Yihan and Ziziu, the two of them, as her partners, had thought of all aspects. Not only did they give her a contract template for reference, they also sent her several different plans, so that she could use them to explain to the Jade Rabbit clan. It just so happened that the questions raised by the 8th Elder were all on the plan, written by Ming Yihan. So she decisively opened the light curtain panel and zoomed it to the maximum, so that she could explain, while letting the elders check. First of all, it's about the price of purchasing fruits and vegetables. She took out a wooden stick from the wisdom ring space, and then stood next to the light curtain panel, and pointed at it. We have investigated the fruit and vegetable market in the Federation in advance. They usually divide fruits and vegetables into 3 qualities, and the price of each quality of fruits and vegetables is different, and each type of fruits and vegetables also has a price difference. The 8th Elder looked at the light curtain panel in surprise. She didn't know there was such a magical thing. Just like those big monsters were casting spells, a small picture suddenly appeared, and it expanded several times in the blink of an eye. What surprised her most was that the picture could actually change. As she thought about it, she stole a glance at the other rabbits. Fortunately, the other elders were exactly the same as her, all with a stunned look. Fortunately, it was not embarrassing. So she quickly calmed down and began to look at the picture in front of her seriously. For example, this corn, low quality, can only be sold for 60 star coins per catty at the wholesale price, while medium quality can be sold for 80 star coins per catty, and high quality can be sold for 100 star coins per catty. Wen Jiu switched the screen while speaking, showing the elders the results of the investigation, so that they would not think she was fooling around. And the quality of the vegetables and fruits produced by the Jade Rabbit tribe is much higher than these, so the price can be even higher. Take the corn we just saw, for example. The corn of the Jade Rabbit tribe can be sold for 120 star coins per pound. As soon as she finished speaking, the 8th Elder couldn't help but ask, what can you buy in the supermarket with 120 star coins? Can you buy the laser gun that the Great Elder said can kill the tiger spirit? Well, I'm afraid not. She couldn't help but twitch the corner of her mouth for a moment. But 120 star coins can still buy a lot of things, like this cute little nest. As she spoke, she took out a pet nest from the wisdom ring space, which was left after giving gifts to the Snow Fox tribe. She placed this pink pet nest on the table, attracting the eyes of the elders. Master Wen, what is the use of this nest? The fifth elder poked the pet nest curiously. It's soft like a bed. Is it filled with cotton? Hearing this, Wen Jiu quickly prepared his words. I noticed that there are a lot of little rabbits in our Jade Rabbit tribe, and it's not good for them to sleep in a pile of straw. A nest like this is especially suitable for them. It's soft and won't hurt their fur. As the saying goes, little rabbits are the future flowers of the Jade Rabbit tribe, so these flowers must be carefully nurtured to grow, right? Moreover, this nest can not only allow little rabbits to sleep, but also big rabbits like you elders to sleep. Think about how much work you have to do every day, and you must get enough sleep at night to stay energetic. Only with enough energy can you work better, otherwise you will be listless and can't even plow the field well. I also observed this when I came here a few days ago. It's the season for everyone to harvest wheat recently. You also know that sickles are very sharp. If you lose your concentration, you will cut yourself. This shows how important it is to be energetic when working. This cotton padded nest will allow you to rest well and have a high quality sleep. The little rabbits can sleep comfortably and be naughty and lively the next day, and the big rabbits can sleep happily and rest up enough to go to work in the fields the next day. She talked a lot, and the elders were stunned. While they were reacting, she quickly picked up the teacup and took a sip. For some reason, she felt like a very hard-working salesperson. After several minutes, an elder came back to his senses, but the other party was the sixth elder who did not agree to cooperate with her. If 1 pound of corn can be exchanged for 1 nest, then 10 pounds of corn can be exchanged for 10 nests, he said as he touched it with his hand. It was indeed soft, and it must be very comfortable to lie on it and sleep. Hearing this, Wen Jiu smiled and nodded and replied, yes, and this nest is not the best. If the Jade Rabbit clan earns more star coins, they can buy a more luxurious nest. Words are not enough, why don't you come up and try lying down? If he was a little hesitant at first, then after hearing what Wen Jiu said, he immediately changed back to his original form and jumped into the nest. Sure enough, it was exactly the same as the other party's description. This nest was soft and warm to lie on, and there was no discomfort at all from lying in a pile of straw. So he didn't want to come out as soon as he lay in it, and his open eyes gradually closed. Seeing this, the third elder coughed twice to remind him, Old Six, come out and describe your feelings first. He was really impressed by the sixth elder, this pig teammate, and the other party almost turned against him in front of him. After the words fell, the sixth elder reacted and then jumped out reluctantly. The main reason is that the demons use magic to transform into humans, and when they become humans, they can use magic to change clothes, so they rarely develop the textile industry. Even the Jade Rabbit tribe, a hard-working demon tribe, would not spend time on weaving. This has led to the fact that most demon tribes still sleep on simple beds. For example, the Jade Rabbit tribe and the Dog Demon tribe use straw or thatch as their beds. The Snow Fox tribe uses snow bricks as their beds, and also puts animal skins on them for warmth. In short, as long as they can sleep, it's fine. So when Wen Jiu suddenly took out a comfortable nest, it naturally aroused great interest among these demon tribes. She saw that the elders and 2 marks were all excited, and she knew that her method of tempting with a pet nest was successful again. But the pet nest alone was not enough to make them willingly agree to cooperate. So she cleared her throat and said, by the way, the cubs of the Dog Demon clan and the Snow Fox clan are now using this soft cotton nest, which is comfortable to sleep on, does not prick the skin, and is warm. The third elder frowned when he heard this. Even the Snow Fox clan and the Dog Demon clan used such a nest, so their Jade Rabbit clan naturally could not fall behind. But just a small cotton nest was not enough for him to take a huge risk and agree to cooperate with the human girl in front of him. Source. Today's second update has also been successfully delivered. Thank you to every little angel for your support and love. 030. Chapter 941 Emperor Xiu and the Mirage Galaxy 1. However, what the third elder didn't know was that Wen Jiu had guessed his mind. Just as he frowned and pondered, the other party threw out a new temptation. I believe everyone here also knows that human technology is advancing very quickly, Wen Jiu said, while switching the screen on the light screen panel. Since I'm seeking cooperation with great sincerity, I will say some things directly. I hope you won't be angry about this. I went to the fields in my spare time these days, and found that many rabbit spirits use very backward tools. For example, as I mentioned earlier, they still use sickles to cut wheat. Humans have been using machines to harvest for a long time, and they also use machines to process wheat. It is efficient and fast, and not too tiring. As she spoke, she played a video that Ming Yan had prepared in advance of a planet specializing in crops being harvested. The humans in the picture didn't even have to go to the fields. After they debugged one machine after another, they stood aside and played games. In just a few minutes, those machines harvested a whole field of wheat. Does Dang Dang really have such a magical machine? Even the third elder, who was most opposed to the cooperation, was moved after watching this video. Although he was one of the elders in charge of breeding, he also loved farming in his heart. Before he became an elder, he also had to go to the fields to grow vegetables and fruits. Therefore, as soon as he saw the video played by Wen Jiu, he became very interested in those machines. Hearing this, Wen Jiu nodded very affirmatively. Of course there are. I can't make a fake video to deceive you, otherwise how embarrassing it would be if I couldn't get the machine out at that time. And I have helped you understand the price. If you buy in bulk, this kind of machine only costs 7,000 star coins. In fact, the market price of this kind of machine is around 10,000 star coins. The reason why she can offer this price to tempt the Jade Rabbit clan is thanks to Ziziu. When the other party is doing the pharmaceutical business, it is inevitable that they will get to know people who are doing the machine business. Once the relationship is familiar and there are common interests, it is not difficult to get the best price. 1 pound of corn is 120 star coins. If we want to buy a machine, we need 1, 2, 3. The second elder listened and began to count. Seeing this, Wen Jiu kindly reminded him, for every 59 pounds of corn you sell, you can buy such a machine. But you can also sell other fruits and vegetables, so you don't have to keep counting the price of corn. As soon as she finished speaking, the elders started to discuss. She had thought that the Jade Rabbit clan loved farming very much, so they would naturally be interested in agricultural machines, but she didn't expect their interest to be so strong. It was so strong that everyone looked at her with a burning look. Even the third elder, who was the most opposed to cooperation, had a much softer look at this moment. In addition to fruits and vegetables, do you also collect livestock? The other party was one of the elders in charge of breeding in the tribe, so he naturally had to estimate the value of those livestock. Hearing this, she pretended to think for a moment, and then smiled gently and replied, yes, but the specific price depends on the quality and quantity of each kind of livestock. Of course, the same applies to the vegetables and fruits I purchase here. Before she came, she had asked Tu Marxu about various things about the 10 elders of the Jade Rabbit clan. So when the third elder asked the question, she had already thought about how to answer him. She also knew that the third elder was the most opposed to cooperation, so she was particularly gentle when answering. Okay, then what kind of machine can be used for breeding? The other party seized this opportunity and began to climb the pole. It would be best if it is as good as this wheat harvesting machine. How did you say that sentence? It is to free your claws. After listening, she did not answer in a hurry, but only smiled and switched the screen to show the third elder the breeding industry in the human world. The video showed the breeding sites of various livestock, including systematic chicken farms, cattle farms, pig farms, etc. The eyes of the third and sixth elders were shining, and they almost pounced on the light screen panel. After she showed all the videos, the two elders were obviously much happier. They were discussing how to improve the breeding technology of the Jade Rabbit clan after selling the livestock. But when they were happy, some rabbits were unhappy. The fourth elder looked at his teammate who had changed sides with cold eyes and couldn't help but sneered. Fourth Elder, do you have any questions for Master Wen? Or do you still disagree with this cooperation? The first elder had been paying attention to the movements of the elders who opposed the cooperation. So when she saw the dissatisfaction on the face of the fourth elder, she asked directly. She still hoped that every elder of the Jade Rabbit clan would agree to cooperate with humans. Besides, Wen Jiu would have long-term cooperation with the Jade Rabbit clan in the future, so it would be better to talk about anything in front of the other party. Of course I have. The fourth elder looked at Wen Jiu with a cold face. Excuse me, master, what's the point of just talking? Who knows if you will break the promise? Look at how happy you all are. Have you forgotten how hateful humans are? You should know that humans are best at lying. Didn't Emperor Xiu believe in humans' words back then, which led to... As soon as he said this, the first elder threw a stream of light at him. Enough. How can you slander the decision made by Emperor Xiu? Because the other party was just warning him with this, the stream of light did not fall on him. But he couldn't bear it anymore. He had to drive this human out today, to prevent him from harming the Jade Rabbit clan. Grand Elder. Thanks to the protection of Emperor Xiu and Lord Shen last time, we, the weak demons, escaped. But after that, Emperor Xiu became weaker and even fell into a deep sleep, and Lord Shen's temperament changed drastically, and his cultivation level continued to decline. Isn't this lesson enough for you to remember? He wanted to continue speaking, but found that he suddenly couldn't make a sound. The Great Elder looked at him with a cold face. I think you have forgotten the clan rules completely. Come on, Rabbit, take the fourth elder to Huoyu Hall to reflect on your mistakes. As soon as the words fell, 2 rabbit spirits came in immediately, carrying the fourth elder out on the left and right. With this, the meeting could not continue. So Wen Jiu followed 2 Marksu out of Qinghai Hall, and then the rest of the elders were sent out by the Great Elder. Seeing 2 Marksu's solemn expression, coupled with what the fourth elder had just said, Wen Jiu couldn't help but ask, Leader Rabbit, can you tell me about the Xiu and Lord Shen? After the words fell, 2 Marksu was stunned for a long time, before lowering his eyes and replied, forget it, you have heard so much just now, there is no point in me hiding it any further. But this matter is a long story, let's find a place to sit down first. Today's third update has also been delivered smoothly, thanks again to the little angels for their support. Chapter 942 Emperor Xiu and the Mirage Galaxy 2. Wen Jiu thought 2 Marksu was going to take her back to the kitchen, because Chujian and Husan were waiting there. She never thought that she would take her around and finally leave the huge Chang'e Palace. She left, but she didn't leave completely. She followed 2 Marksu into the back garden of Chang'e Palace, and saw a corridor full of wisteria flowers. The purple, pink, or blue wisteria flowers were long and numerous, hanging above the corridor like a waterfall. Come on, let's talk while we walk. 2 Marksu took a deep breath and stepped forward, as if she had made a very important decision. Seeing this, Wen Jiu followed decisively. She could vaguely guess what 2 Marksu wanted to do, but she was still a little uncertain for a while. Master Wen, can you see the beauty of this corridor? 2 Marksu didn't talk about the Xiu right away, as if to ease the atmosphere. Maybe. She looked around for a moment in a cooperative manner. You set up a formation in the corridor, and there is more than one formation. Do you do this to prevent outsiders from breaking in? After the words fell, the other party lowered his eyes and nodded. Yes, only by passing through this corridor can we reach the center of Emperor Xiu Valley. As soon as she heard this, she understood that her previous guess was correct. It seems that 2 Marksu really wants to take her to see Emperor Xiu, but she heard from the elders that Emperor Xiu had fallen into a deep sleep a long time ago. So what's the point of the other party taking her there now? 2 Marksu seemed to see her doubts. Although Emperor Xiu has fallen into a deep sleep, he still retains a part of his power and silently protects our Jade Rabbit clan. Don't you want to cooperate with our Jade Rabbit clan? If you are sincere, then swear in front of Emperor Xiu. Of course, for fairness, I will swear too. In this way, with the constraints of the laws of heaven and earth and the absolute power of Emperor Xiu as a guarantee, those elders will not disbelieve you. Hearing this, Wen Jiu couldn't help but flash a trace of surprise in his eyes. Unlike the human world, where you can just swear an oath casually, here you will be bound by the laws of heaven and earth. Once you break the oath, you will suffer a great backlash. If she adds the power of Emperor Xiu, if she deceives these rabbit spirits, I'm afraid she will really be struck by lightning. Fortunately, she didn't intend to deceive the Jade Rabbit clan. She really wanted to reach a cooperation with the Jade Rabbit clan. There is no problem with swearing, she answered as she walked forward, but now only the fourth elder disagrees with the cooperation. Did you decide to do this to get him to agree? After saying this, Tumaksu hesitated for a moment before answering softly, yes, and no. The main reason I did this is because there are nearly 1,000 rabbit spirits in the Jade Rabbit tribe, so I think it is necessary to give them a reassurance. Some rabbit spirits are prejudiced against humans like the fourth elder, while others are too simple and have never come into contact with humans. Since we want to cooperate with you for a long time and stably, we must nip the signs of anxiety in the bud. Otherwise, as time goes by, this anxiety will gradually spread, which will not only affect your perception of the Jade Rabbit tribe, but also our trust in you. So I think it is very necessary for you to make an oath with me. After listening to Tumaksu's explanation, Wen Jiu couldn't help but nodded in agreement. In fact, she had thought about the issue of trust a long time ago, so she asked her two partners to sign several contracts. Thinking that if the Jade Rabbit tribe agreed to cooperate, she would take out the contract and handle it in a fair and impartial manner. But she had not come into contact with the demons and cultivators for a long time, and had forgotten that they believed in the constraints of the laws of heaven and earth more than the so-called contracts. So she readily agreed to Tumaksu's proposal, just in time. She wanted to see what the legendary Shenmue Xiu looked like. One person and one rabbit shuttled through the endless corridor. After walking for about a quarter of an hour, Tumaksu stopped. He carefully took off the sachet from his waist and then walked to a white wisteria flower. He shook the sachet in front of the wisteria flower, but after a few seconds, the wisteria flower suddenly emitted a soft light. Seeing this, he quickly turned his head and looked at Wen Jiu. Come, hold my hand. The passage to the center will only be open for 1 minute, and it will be closed if you don't hurry up and pass through. Fortunately, the other party did not ask any more questions and grabbed his hand without hesitation. As the light emitted by the wisteria flower became stronger and stronger, Wen Jiu felt that the scene in front of him became illusory. She only knew that she was being held tightly by Tumaksu and suddenly crashed into the place where the pillar was, which made her close her eyes subconsciously. When she opened her eyes again, she found herself in another world. It seemed that it had just rained a little here, and the soil under her feet was a little slippery and sticky. The rising mist enveloped the surroundings, adding a bit of mystery. Looking around, there was an endless green meadow and countless wildflowers blooming. Not far away was a clear stream. The gurgling sound of the stream falling on the stones, intertwined with the chirping of birds, singing a song of joy that belonged only to nature. Wen Jiu only stood here for a moment, and his tense nerves relaxed. Unlike the carved beauty of the green grass garden, this place was more like a return to nature, without any trace of artificial or demonic modification, and all flowers, plants, and trees grew freely and casually. Tumaksu cast a small spell, and he turned the plain robe he was wearing into a modern sportswear similar to the one Wen Jiu wore. He tried to move his limbs, and couldn't help but exclaimed in surprise, "You know what? This outfit is more convenient." In fact, he had wanted to do this for a long time, but it was inconvenient to change clothes in the tribe, so he had waited until now. "Let's go, I'll take you to CDXIU," he said, and walked towards the stream in front. "You be careful, the stones here are very slippery." Hearing this, Wen Jiu asked curiously, "How long do we have to walk before we can CDXIU?" She thought that, as soon as she was teleported, the sacred tree DXIU was in front of her, but Tumaksu said that she had to keep walking. She didn't feel tired or annoyed, she just wanted to ask. "In fact, you have already seen it," the other party said, pointing to the sky. "Look, this is the branches and leaves of DXIU." She couldn't help but look up following Tumaksu's gesture, and then she found that there were lush branches and leaves blocking her head. No wonder she felt that this place was quite cool. I never thought that the branches and leaves of the Emperor Xiu would be so long. Wait, if the branches and leaves of the Emperor Xiu were so long, then the trunk and roots of the Emperor Xiu would be like this. The little author has sent the first update of the day. Thank you to every little angel for your support and love. 030. Chapter 943. I also lost my memory 1. As it turned out, Wen Jiu was right. She and Tumaksu crossed the stream by stepping on stones, and then followed each other through a dense sea of flowers, and finally saw the legendary Emperor Xiu. According to the book, 50 miles to the east is the Shaoxi Mountain, where all kinds of plants and trees grow. On the top of the mountain is a tree called Emperor Xiu. Its leaves are like poplars, and its branches are 5-way. Its flowers are yellow and its fruits are black. Those who take it will not get angry. 1. In simple terms, Emperor Xiu is similar to a poplar. Its branches intersect and extend in all directions, and it will bloom yellow flowers and produce black fruits. Legend has it that, if you take the fruit of Emperor Xiu, you can keep calm and forget all your worries and sorrows. Wen Jiu didn't know if those legends were true, but she didn't want to find out the truth at the moment. Because the Emperor Xiu in front of her was much bigger than the poplar, and its trunk was so thick that it was shocking. She felt that if she walked around Emperor Xiu, it would probably take 7 or 8 minutes. The branches of the Dixiu tree intertwined and stretched far into the distance, and the roots intertwined and protruded from the ground. The lush branches and leaves almost covered the blue sky, breaking the sunlight into beams of light. The little light fell from it, reflecting on the flowers full of dew, instantly forming a bright rainbow. The extremely thick roots protruded from the ground, allowing all kinds of small animals to play on them. There were squirrels holding grey mushrooms, cicada resting under the tree, and even lively little rabbits. She could feel the oncoming vitality just by standing there. This is Emperor Xiu. Tumaksu looked at the towering tree with respect. It's a pity that he fell into a deep sleep and can't chat and play with us. Hearing this, Wen Jiu raised his eyebrows in surprise. Will he chat and play with you? Of course. The other party answered with his hands on his waist. I was hugged by Emperor Xiu when I was a child. He even sang a lullaby to me. Before she had time to continue asking questions, she suddenly saw a cloud of mist floating over. Seeing this, Tumaksu couldn't help but say in surprise, Lord Shen. As the other party's voice fell, the cloud of mist gradually condensed into shape. Little rabbit, long time no see. Little girl, long time no see. Yu Shenzing still maintained a half human and half mist state, which looked very strange. Fortunately, Wen Jiu had already gotten used to it after these days of training. She just looked at Shenzing and looked away. For some reason, she always felt that the other party had changed a little and seemed to be less irrelevant. Tumaksu bowed respectfully. Lord Shen, long time no see. I came here to make an oath with Master Wen in front of Emperor Xiu. He explained his purpose, to avoid any misunderstandings from Shenzing. Oh. The other party suddenly flew in front of him. Why don't you tell me why you want to make an oath? After hearing this, he looked at Wen Jiu first, and then briefly explained the whole story. Fortunately, Shenzing did not suddenly go crazy like last time. After thinking for a moment, he floated towards the direction of Emperor Xiu. Seeing this, he knew that Shenzing agreed. So he quickly pulled Wen Jiu and ran towards the direction of Emperor Xiu. However, as they moved forward, the animals followed curiously behind them, as if they were coming to watch the fun. Don't mind, these are ordinary cubs without intelligence, Tumaksu thought for a while, and explained to Wen Jiu in a low voice. Although the cubs born by our demon tribe are all second-generation demons, there are always some cubs that fail to inherit the talents of the demon tribe. Cubs like these are generally eliminated by the demon tribe. That is, they are removed from the demon register and classified as ordinary animals. Later, the Guho bird tribe couldn't stand it, so they took these cubs back to raise them. You also know that birds have to build nests to live. DXIU is a rare good-tempered wood spirit in this world, so the Guho bird's nest is built on DXIU's head, and these cubs also live nearby. He walked forward, while explaining in a low voice, and unknowingly walked under DXIU. Looking at the tall and upright DXIU, he couldn't help but have red eyes and a sore nose. In the past, their Jade Rabbit tribe could rely on DXIU, but now they must work hard to protect themselves, and even work hard to protect the entire DXIU valley. Although he felt that there was nothing wrong with such a change. After all, their Jade Rabbit clan should really learn to fight. If they continued to be weak, they would face destruction. But he still hoped that DXIU could wake up soon. The other party was a memory that he could never erase from his heart, and was also a supreme existence that no demon could replace. Wen Jiu looked at the towering tree in front of him, and a feeling of awe rose spontaneously. Just when she wanted to bow to show her respect, Shenzing floated out from nowhere. Why do I feel more familiar with you the more I look at you? The other party was like a puff of smoke floating left and right. Hearing this, Tumaksu shrugged helplessly. Lord Shen, you just met her yesterday. Of course you feel familiar. He was used to Shenzing's intermittent amnesia, so he didn't think it was strange. Who knew that the other party would fall in front of Wen Jiu, and sniffed left and right like a pervert. Master Shen, please keep a safe distance. He hurried over and squeezed Shenzing away and opened his arms to protect her. No matter what, Master Wen is a girl, you can't offend her like this. After speaking, Shenzing raised his eyebrows with interest and then floated towards the tree branch of Emperor Xiu. After he found a comfortable place to sit down, he cast his eyes on Wen Jiu. Have I seen you before? Yes, we met yesterday. The other party had a helpless look on his face. Didn't you hear what the rabbit tribe leader said? He couldn't help but chuckled when he heard this answer. I have intermittent amnesia, but I'm not deaf. What I'm asking is whether we have met before, a long time ago. To be honest, Wen Jiu was confused by Shenzing's question. How could she have seen each other a long time ago? She had never been to the Desolate Star a long time ago. Wait, has she really never been here? Seeing that she was frowning and not replying, Shenzing suddenly floated down from the tree branch and once again approached her and sniffed left and right. It's exactly the same smell. The other party half squinted as if recalling something light and sweet, like the smell of grapefruit. Hearing this, Wen Jiu's brows almost frowned together. She first stepped back a few steps to distance herself, then raised her head and looked at Shenzing and said, I'll tell you the truth, I actually lost my memory too. Today's second update has been successfully delivered. Please check it out, little angels. 030, Whisper, 1, from the classic of Mountains and Seas Zhongshan Classic. The content about Emperor Xiu in this book is the author's own creation, so it will not be exactly the same as the description in the classic of Mountains and Seas. Open bracket closed bracket closed bracket. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 944. I also lost my memory too. HMM. Shenzing was stunned for a moment after hearing this. You also lost your memory? That's a coincidence. As he said this, he casually shot out a stream of light purple and saw vines instantly falling along the branches of the Emperor Xiu, and in an instant it turned into a solid vine swing. He floated over contentedly. Little rabbit, come here and push me from behind. Hearing this, Tumaksu could only run over happily and do the work of pushing the swing. Have you really lost your memory? He leisurely enjoyed the joy of swinging. Is there such a coincidence in the world? Wen Jiu spread his hands helplessly. I really lost my memory. I have no memory before I was 7 or 8 years old. Besides, there is no need for me to pretend to have amnesia. It's not good for me. It would be best if she could remember, but the problem is that she really didn't remember anything. After he finished speaking, Shenzing stared at her for a long time before retracting his gaze. Okay, but I have to tell you that you smell very strange. Of course, I don't mean that you smell bad, but your smell makes me feel very familiar. Thank you. Her mouth twitched. Didn't you say that this smell is particularly like grapefruit? Maybe you smelled it when you were eating grapefruit. She had just finished speaking when Shenzing shook his head. Every person, every monster, and even every flower and plant has a unique smell. Although my memory is very confused now, and I often forget things, I never confuse the smell. Master Wen, I can testify to this. Tumaksu pushed the vine swing with a grunt. Lord Shen can really identify monsters by smell. Shenzing was very satisfied with what Tumaksu said. Little rabbit still knows me best. I will give you a raise later. As soon as he finished speaking, the other party complained. Come on, Lord Shen, you are even poorer than me. Who said I was poor? He was so angry that he flew down from the vine swing. I have a lot of what? Spiritual what? He was talking and suddenly forgot what he was going to say. Seeing this, Tumaksu added at the right time, spiritual stones. Oh, yes, spiritual stones. He puffed up his chest very proudly. I have a lot of spiritual stones. I'm not poor at all. Who knew that? As soon as he finished speaking, the other party stabbed him. But Lord Shen, you can't remember where you put the spiritual stones at all, and you even forgot where your spiritual veins are. Puff. Wen Jiu really couldn't help laughing out loud. Sorry, I just suddenly thought of a joke. You guys continue. Don't worry about me. After she finished speaking, she turned her eyes away, pretending that she didn't hear anything. However, Shenzhen didn't give her this opportunity at all. Okay, I can't remember it for a while anyway. Aren't you going to make a vow with the little rabbit? Hurry up and don't waste time. Hearing this, she couldn't help but complain in her heart, who is wasting time? The other party floated back to the vine swing while saying that, and deliberately acted as if nothing had happened. As if this would make her forget the embarrassment just now. Ahem. Master Wen, Tumaksu decisively used the trick of changing the subject to protect Shenzing's face. Then let's make a vow in front of Emperor Xiu. Hearing this, Wen Jiu nodded and agreed. She also wanted to make a vow quickly to solve the problem. She still had to go back to the Snow Fox clan to find Hu Yi to get the spirit stone, so she didn't bother much about Shenzing. Seeing that she readily agreed, Tumaksu couldn't help but feel relieved. So one person and one rabbit stood in front of Emperor Xiu, feeling the ubiquitous spiritual energy surge. She extended her hand to Tumaksu. I'm willing to accept the constraints of the laws of heaven and earth and swear here that I will never do anything to harm the Jade Rabbit clan in my life, nor will I violate the promise I made to the Jade Rabbit clan. If I do, I will be struck by 5 thunders and my soul will be destroyed. The other party had never expected that she would make such a poisonous oath, and for a moment, she didn't know how to respond with a complicated expression. After a moment, she saw Tumaksu stretched out her hand and covered her palm. I swear here in the name of the patriarch of the Jade Rabbit clan that the Jade Rabbit clan will never betray Wen Jiu in this life, nor will they do anything to harm Wen Jiu. If I do, I will fail to pass the calamity and my cultivation will be lost. After death, I will fall into hell and cannot turn over. The other party's voice had just fallen, and a shining white light appeared where their palms were closed. Then Wen Jiu felt the spiritual power in his body surging, and a trace of spiritual power flew out uncontrollably. In an instant, that trace of spiritual power merged into the heaven and earth, which meant that her oath with Tumaksu was established and effective. From now on, she could not do anything to harm the Jade Rabbit clan, nor could she go back on the promise she made to the Jade Rabbit clan. Similarly, no rabbit spirits in the Jade Rabbit clan would betray her or harm her. This was her first time to make a heaven-earth oath, and it felt quite sacred. TSK, you two are too vicious. Shenzing floated over at some point. I thought you two were just making a casual oath, but I didn't expect that you would end up with a death sentence. The little rabbit's cultivation was completely gone, and he couldn't turn over, which was a very vicious oath for the demon clan. Hearing this, Tumaksu smiled a little embarrassedly. After all, Master Wen said such serious consequences. If I just said something insignificant, wouldn't it be a shame to Master Wen's sincerity? At first, he thought that his cultivation would plummet, which was already very serious for the demon clan. But when Jiu came up with a sentence of being struck by 5 thunders and being destroyed, so he could only bite the bullet and say that his cultivation was completely gone and he couldn't turn over. Forget it. I don't want to bother with you guys. Shenzing yawned a little sleepily. Since you have finished your oath, go back. Don't disturb my sweet dream. After he finished speaking, He turned into a cloud of mist, ready to blend into the world to rest. But before he floated away, he caught a glimpse of Wen Jiu, who was still standing in front of Emperor Xiu. His memory is very confused now, so he can't remember many things, so he just doesn't bother to think about them. After all, there is a saying that forgetting is also a kind of happiness. But he doesn't know why. He always feels that the smell of Wen Jiu symbolizes a very important memory, which makes him want to recall it as soon as possible. I will try my best to get my memory back. He left a sentence after thinking for a while. If I remember it, I will let the little rabbit tell you. As for now, you should leave quickly and don't disturb my rest. Without waiting for Wen Jiu to answer, he disappeared. Today's third update has also been delivered. Sorry, the little author forgot the timer cac. Chapter 945 Carrot Market 1. The things that needed to be done were done, and Tumaksu took Wen Jiu back to the wisteria corridor. It was as if everything they had just experienced was an illusory dream. Actually, I have a question that I have always wanted to ask you. Wen Jiu walked slowly in the corridor while checking these beautiful wisteria flowers. Why is the fourth elder so opposed to cooperating with humans? She could understand that the elders would be worried about the Jade Rabbit clan, but the reaction of the fourth elder was too intense. It was as if she was not here to seek cooperation, but to destroy the Jade Rabbit clan. Hearing this, Tumaksu, who was walking in front, stopped and said, It's a long story. The fourth elder, like the first elder, is the elder with the longest seniority. It is said that more than 100 years ago, a human came. The fourth elder became friends with her when he was out, and later took her back to Dxiu Valley, and even met Lord Shen and Dxiu. Wait, couldn't the fourth elder also be sold to the circus? As she listened, she thought of Huzaosi. The main reason was that the beginning sounded too familiar, and she was afraid that the story would develop into a love story. Tumaksu rolled her eyes at her. First of all, the fourth elder is not as stupid as Huzaosi, and secondly, he and that human are really friends. It's just that I don't know what happened in the middle, because at that time, my father was the patriarch. When the other party said this, he couldn't help but put on a sad expression. Seeing this, Wen Jiu spoke at the right time. Sorry, I didn't know there was such a thing in the middle. She really didn't know that this matter could be related to Tumaksu's father. She just wanted to know why the fourth elder hated humans so much. In this way, she could prescribe the right medicine and convince the prejudiced fourth elder, who knew that this matter was so complicated, not only involving Dxiu and Shenzing, but now even Tumaksu's father has come out. It's okay, it's over. Tumaksu quickly recovered as usual. Besides, my father's soul is being kept by Emperor Xiu. Emperor Xiu said that when the opportunity comes, my father will be able to come back to life. Hearing this, Wen Jiu secretly breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. Your father will definitely wait for the opportunity soon. It seems that Tumaksu's father has a high level of cultivation. You know, only the monsters in the nascent soul stage can leave their souls and revive after death. She originally wanted to end this embarrassing topic, but Tumaksu just kept talking. Forget it, since this scar has been uncovered, why not just talk about it? In short, that human betrayed the fourth elder, and also betrayed Emperor Xiu and Lord Shen. He also caused Emperor Xiu to fall into a deep sleep to protect himself, and even caused Lord Shen to be injured and poisoned by a strange poison. Although Tumaksu looked normal on the surface, there was still some sadness in her tone. After hearing this, she was stunned for a moment. So Lord Shen's amnesia was caused by poisoning? Yes, it was the poison that caused Lord Shen's memory confusion, the other party said as he continued to move forward. Lord Shen's cultivation level plummeted, and was also related to the poisoning. In short, the poison had a great impact on Lord Shen. Our Jade Rabbit clan has been trying to find an antidote. She was silent for a moment when she heard this, and finally said nothing. She felt that she still needed to learn more before proposing to Tumaksu that she could detoxify. After all, she was not familiar with the Jade Rabbit clan, and even cooperation depended on the oath of heaven and earth. If she proposed that she might be able to detoxify at this time, she was afraid that the elders would mistakenly think that she had bad intentions. Anyway, she still had to stay on the desolate star for a while, and this kind of thing could not be rushed for a while. That's probably the case. If you want the fourth elder to have no prejudice against humans, I think it's still difficult. Tumaksu was very good at observing people's words and expressions. But it doesn't matter. You and I have made a heaven-earth oath. He won't be so fiercely opposed to cooperation. He added, at most, his attitude towards you will be a little worse, and his words will be more unpleasant. But this is not a big problem. You can avoid contact with him, so you won't have any troubles. He could sense that Wen Jiu wanted to persuade the fourth elder, but the fourth elder and humans had a blood feud, and how could it be resolved in a short time? So he still advised him to prevent Wen Jiu from getting stuck in a dead end. Besides, the next cooperation will be handled by other elders. Even if the fourth elder is dissatisfied, it will not cause any impact. That's right, Wen Jiu smiled, as if he didn't care. Since we have come out of Changle Palace, why don't you take me for a walk? She has been staying in Changle Palace these days, and has never been to the territory of the Jade Rabbit clan. Hearing this, Tumaksu readily agreed. Let's go. It just so happens that the carrot market is open today. I can take you to experience the various characteristics of our Jade Rabbit clan. Let's go, she said, pulling the other party forward. I almost forgot. Go call my brother and Fox 3 first. They are still in the kitchen. At this time, Chujian, who was forgotten in the kitchen by her, was so bored that he taught Fox 3 how to play games. One person and one fox used the light screen panel to play the 2-player version of Candy Crush on it. Hurry up and untie the ice cubes. Chujian was sweating profusely when playing Candy Crush for the first time. You have to untie the ice cubes first to eliminate the fruits inside. As soon as he finished speaking, he saw Fox 3 frantically tapping the light screen panel. I eliminated it. What if I didn't eliminate it? Forget it. Use a prop. Do you see the bomb next to it? He suppressed his anger and taught the other party how to operate it. Just put the bomb on the apple. Seeing this, Toshio, who had been guarding in the kitchen, couldn't help but smile. She had been watching the game played by one man and one fox for a long time. Even she understood how to play this game, but Fox 3 just couldn't figure out how to play the game. It seems that the snow foxes of the Snow Fox clan are not as smart as the legend says. Just when she wanted to continue watching the fun, she suddenly saw Wen Jiu and Tumaksu push the door open. So she immediately bowed respectfully. Hello, clan leader. Hello, Master Wen. Hello to you. Hello to you. Wen Jiu smiled back at her politely and then strode to Chujian. Are you still playing? Do you want to go shopping? Chujian's eyes lit up as if he saw a savior. Go and do anything more interesting than playing Candy Crush. As soon as he spoke, Fox 3 followed suit. So they left the kitchen and walked towards the carrot market. And Rabbit Shio was assigned a task by Tumaksu to go find the Great Elder. Jiang, today's first update has been successfully delivered. Please check it out, little angels. 030. Chapter 946 Carrot Market 2. The carrot market is located in the center of the Jade Rabbit tribe's territory, and trading activities are held every half a month. This is mainly because there are too many rabbit spirits in the Jade Rabbit tribe, so everyone lives in different locations in the Dixio Valley, and it is difficult to buy and sell things on weekdays. So Tumaksu's great-grandfather imitated humans and created a market that is convenient for trading. The carrot market is bustling and lively, and the shouts of the rabbit spirits are one after another. Some rabbit spirits put the goods on a cart and decorate the cart with flowers. Some rabbit spirits casually pulled a piece of cloth, directly put the goods on it, and then sat on the ground. However, no matter which kind of rabbit spirit it is, as long as they recognize Tumaksu, they will bow respectfully. Hey, do you want to buy food or something else? Tumaksu responded with a smile and whispered to Wen Jiu what he thought. My suggestion is to buy some food first, so that you can eat while walking. Besides, the sun is about to set, and it's time for dinner. Hearing this, Wen Jiu nodded in agreement. Then let's buy some food first. Do you have any recommendations? As soon as she asked Tumaksu, she caught a glimpse of a small stall selling cold noodles. Wow, there is actually cold noodles here, so she must order a portion. So without waiting for the other party to answer, she walked to the stall and asked, "This beautiful bunny, may I ask how much your cold noodles are?" The girl who sold cold noodles was a girl who looked only 17 or 18 years old. When she saw her coming, her pink rabbit ears, that were originally drooping, immediately stood up. Are you human? Ruan nervously twisted her fingers. Cold noodles. Cold noodles. Cold noodles. When Jiu saw that this rabbit spirit was nervous and stuttered, so she could only turn around and pull Tumaksu to help her buy cold noodles. Yes, Ruan. Tumaksu smiled kindly. Please give us a portion of cold noodles. For a large portion, add more bean sprouts and less spicy. After saying that, Ruan instantly relaxed a lot. Okay, clan leader, a large portion of cold noodles costs 8 rabbit coins. Tumaksu took out her purse very readily and then counted out 8 rabbit coins for Ruan. When Jiu stood aside and observed, when she heard the rabbit spirit selling cold noodles say rabbit coins, she immediately moved her eyes to Tumaksu's purse. The other party seemed to have noticed it and handed her a rabbit coin. The so-called rabbit coin is actually somewhat similar to the copper coins of ancient China, except that it is engraved with the clan emblem of the Jade Rabbit clan and rabbit patterns. Very cute. She looked at the rabbit coin left and right. How about giving me one as a souvenir? Such a request was nothing, and Tumaksu would naturally not refuse her. Then you must keep it well. This is my gift to you. Hearing this, she immediately took out a star coin from the wisdom ring space. Then I will also give you a gift. This is a currency commonly used in our human world, called star coins. Fortunately, she had mentioned some physical star coins before, otherwise she really couldn't take out star coins to give to Tumaksu. Ruan, who sells cold noodles, has actually been observing secretly. When she saw the crystal clear and shiny star coins, she couldn't help but say, "Huh, this looks like the stone that Tu Beng picked up a few days ago." As soon as she finished speaking, she saw the human girl in front of her looking over, and she immediately lowered her head to continue mixing the cold noodles. Seeing this, when Jiu leaned over to Tumaksu's ear and whispered a few words. She originally wanted to ask the question herself, but Ruan was too timid, so she thought it would be better for Tumaksu to ask. So after she finished speaking, she took Chujian and Husan to visit other stalls, leaving Tumaksu waiting for the cold noodles to be mixed. Chief, Ruan raised her head a little embarrassedly. Did I say something wrong just now? Hearing this, Tumaksu smiled calmly. No, Master Wen just saw that there was a candied horse stall selling candied horse over there, so he took his friends to buy candied horse. But you should be more careful when mixing the cold noodles. Didn't I tell you to put less spicy? You already put 3 spoons of chili oil. After he finished speaking, Ruan realized that something was wrong and hurriedly changed the bowl and started mixing again. Please fill the medium spicy portion for me later. He did not rush to ask Ruan about the star coins, but used other topics to relax her. It just so happens that the elder wants to eat something with a strong flavor. I will bring it back for her to taste later. After saying this, Ruan, who had just put bean sprouts in the bowl, breathed a sigh of relief. Okay, then I'll put a few more pairs of chopsticks in later. She was no longer so nervous at this moment, even mixing the cold noodles faster, and even humming a little tune uncontrollably. Seeing that she finally relaxed, Tumaksu talked about a few more topics, and finally went back to the star coins. By the way, you said that Beng picked up such a stone a few days ago, Tumaksu said, taking out the star coin given by Wen Jiu. Are they exactly the same? Hearing this, she pursed her lips and hesitated for a moment before answering. Well, he showed off in front of us for a long time, so I have an impression. But tribe leader, I can guarantee that he definitely didn't steal that human. She also heard what Wen Jiu said just now, so she was very worried that Tumaksu would misunderstand. She didn't expect that the beautiful stone would be the currency of the human world. Don't worry, I won't doubt the tribe rabbits at random, Tumaksu promised very readily. Okay, please wrap up 2 servings of cold bread. I wish you a big sale at the carrot market today. After he finished speaking, he took the box of cold noodles and strode to the stall selling candied haws. Seeing this, Tu Ruan breathed a sigh of relief again. It's all because of her mouth. She can't control her words. Fortunately, Tu Marksu didn't ask any more questions, and the human girl didn't care much. But she thought about it and still had to tell Tu Beng Beng about this. So she asked the stall owner next to her to help guard the stall, and then she went in the direction of Tu Beng Beng's stall. Seeing this, Wen Jiu, who had been observing secretly, raised his eyebrows slightly. It seems that these rabbit spirits are quite united. Of course, Tu Marksu puffed out his chest very proudly. Our Jade Rabbit clan is the most harmonious demon clan among all the clans, and there are rarely any conflicts. As soon as he finished speaking, Husan snorted lightly. Really? But I remember some rabbits complained to me before, saying that it was too tiring to resolve the conflicts between rabbit spirits. TSK, I don't know which rabbit said that. Ahem. Let's try the cold noodles first. He coughed twice a little embarrassedly. Tu Ruan's cooking skills are still good, and cold noodles are her best dish. It's because we came early that there were not many customers at her stall. If we wait until dinner time, I'm afraid we will have to wait in line for more than 10 minutes. Today's second update has also been delivered smoothly. Thank you every little angel for your support. 030. Chapter 947 Human Star Coins 1. Wen Jiu took the box from Tu Marksu with a smile, and then she found that the cold noodles inside were green. Is this cold noodles made with locust leaf juice? She looked at the box curiously. I haven't eaten green cold noodles yet. After saying that, the pride on Tu Marksu's face became more obvious. Yes. This is a locust leaf cold noodles of ancient China, which are made by picking locust leaves and pounding them into juice and mixing them with noodles. She became even more curious when she heard this and quickly took out a pair of chopsticks to start tasting. The first thing you put in your mouth is a very cool feeling, and then you can taste the various seasonings. The cold noodles are smooth and stained with seasonings. They not only have their own fragrance and sweetness, but also the fresh and spicy taste of chili oil. After the very overbearing spicy taste, there is also a sweet scent of locust leaves that stays in your mouth for a long time. It's delicious. She praised generously. This cold noodle tastes particularly chewy, and the chili oil is also very fragrant. The key is that after the two are mixed together, they do not cover up the fragrance of the cold noodles at all, but instead highlight the sweetness of the cold noodles. Hearing this, Chu Jian took the box with great curiosity and opened a new pair of chopsticks to pick up the cold noodles. He had eaten the cold noodles made by Wen Jiu several times before, and he thought that the other party's cold noodles were delicious enough. But Wen Jiu actually praised Tu Ruan's cold noodles as being better, which made him very interested in this cold noodles. Because Tu Marksu bought a large portion of cold noodles, and they also had to buy other food, he picked up a large chopstick and ate it without hesitation. The spicy aroma of chili oil instantly occupied his taste buds, and the cold noodles with a hint of coolness tasted quite chewy, and the refreshing bean sprouts made a crisp sound between his lips and teeth. He felt that his soul was sublimated after taking this bite. This cold noodle is indeed more delicious. It is true that there are many experts among the common people. You should know that every rabbit spirit in the Jade Rabbit clan can cook. So if you want to sell food in such a place, you must work hard and concentrate on research. For example, the locust leaf cold noodles sold by Tu Ruan are carefully adjusted by the other party after studying day and night. Whether it is the cold noodles themselves, the seasonings for mixing cold noodles, or the bean sprouts as a side dish, they are all carefully studied by Tu Ruan. Delicious. Chu Jian also praised this cold noodle. Seeing this, Husan quickly snatched the box. Okay, you will finish it. If you eat more, let me have a taste. Although he has some friendship with Tu Marksu, and he has been to Dxiu Valley before, he has never been to the carrot market. There is no way. His luck is really bad, and he can miss it perfectly every time. After opening a new pair of chopsticks, he took a big mouthful of cold noodles. The spicy and numbing taste made him very comfortable, and the fragrance of the cold noodles itself made Ling Hu intoxicated. The bean sprouts soaked in cool spring water are extremely crisp and tender. They are refreshing and chewy. Delicious. He ate the remaining cold noodles in one breath. Can we buy another one? I want to take it back for a midnight snack. It's so delicious. Hearing this, Wen Jiu slowly shook his finger. Well, the answer is no. Look at how many food stalls there are here. We still have to save our stomachs to continue tasting. Please, I'm just buying it back for a midnight snack, not eating it now. Husan said, and then he lowered his tail guiltily. This time, the other party didn't answer him at all, and let Chu Jian grab him and walk forward. He was a little unhappy at first, but he soon felt relieved, because the facts proved that Wen Jiu was right. Every time Marksu bought a piece of food, he wanted another one after eating it. If he really asked him to buy one more and take it away, he might not be able to leave the carrot market today. Burp. Did we eat too much? Foxson burped and touched his round belly. The gentle image he had created suddenly collapsed at this moment. Seeing this, Chu Jian said mercilessly, please remove the word we, thank you. They bought a lot of food to taste, but most of it went into Foxson's stomach. I feel like I've finished shopping. Wen Jiu scooped a spoonful of double skim milk and ate it. Not bad. Very milky. It would be even better if there were some raisins and crushed peanuts. Before she could finish the rest of the sentence, Marksu said with shining eyes, really? I think so too. But Grandpa Tuding always believes that the original flavor is the best. So every time I buy his double skim milk, I have to take it back to Changle Hall to secretly sprinkle some ingredients on it. If you had said it earlier, I would have eaten it sparingly, so that I could take it back and sprinkle some ingredients on it. She glared at him in pretended anger. Okay, let's get back to business. Let's go find Beng Beng's stall now. Hearing this, Marksu, who wanted to joke, immediately regained her seriousness. Let's go. It's time to ask about this matter. You have to know that Wen Jiu and Chu Jian don't carry star coins with them. They both store star coins in the Ziggy space or the Star Network account. If the stone picked up by Beng Beng is really a star coin, then this matter is a bit serious. They soon found Beng Beng's stall, only to see Beng Beng sitting on the ground in a daze. His silence was in stark contrast to the other rabbit spirits who were shouting and soliciting customers. Seeing this, Marksu decisively winked at Wen Jiu, asking him to take Chu Jian and Husan away. Then he put on a relaxed smile and strode towards Beng Beng's stall. Beng Beng, how many rabbit coins are there for this pot of succulents? He picked up a pot of succulents and looked at it. After he finished speaking, Beng Beng still looked absent-minded and didn't even raise his head to answer his question. He had no choice but to reach out and pat the other person's head. Beng Beng, how many rabbit coins do you want for this pot of succulents? After he finished speaking this time, Rabbit Beng Beng woke up, as if from a dream, and suddenly raised his head. Tribe leader? Chief. Before he could continue to ask about the price of the succulents, Rabbit Beng Beng suddenly burst into tears. Chief. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be greedy and take human things. Woo-oh. I really didn't mean it. I didn't know it was currency. As soon as the other party finished speaking, the rabbit spirits around him took a breath of cold air, and the originally lively market became quiet in an instant. Seeing this, Marksu lowered his voice helplessly. Beng Beng, let's talk later. Clean up the stall first, and then come to find me under the big banyan tree. After he made sure that Beng Beng heard what he said, he forced out a kind and friendly smile. Everyone should do what they should do. Beng Beng didn't take human things. This is just a misunderstanding. The third update has also been delivered on time thanks again to the lovely little angels. Chapter 948 Human Star Coins 2. Marksu still had a lot of prestige among the Jade Rabbit clan, so after he spoke, the rabbit spirits really treated it as if nothing had happened. Those who were supposed to be soliciting customers continued to do so, and those who were supposed to be shopping at the market continued to shop at the market. After he greeted a few familiar rabbit spirits, he walked towards the place where Wen Jiu and others were hiding. Let's go to the big banyan tree and wait for Rabbit Beng Beng, he said, carrying the barbecue skewers sent by the enthusiastic rabbits. The uncle who sells barbecue skewers sent a few skewers, just in time for you to eat while walking. Hearing this, Husan grabbed the bag of barbecue skewers. Why are there only vegetarian dishes and no meat? I want to eat meat. He led the way and answered helplessly, you know we are mainly vegetarian. If you want to eat barbecue skewers, I will grill them for you when we return to Changle Hall later. After he finished speaking, Wen Jiu pinched Husan's waist. Eat whatever you have, why are you so picky? Don't you look at your stomach? If you eat more, it will explode. With Wen Jiu's words, Husan calmed down. So he didn't say anything more, but walked quickly in front to lead the way. When they were about to reach the big banyan tree, they saw a rabbit rushing over quickly. Seeing this, Tumaksu hurriedly shouted, "Beng beng. Wait a minute." As soon as he finished speaking, the rabbit stopped immediately and turned into a human in the blink of an eye. But the other party's eyes were full of fear, and his whole body was shaking with nervousness. Beng beng, don't be nervous. These people are all distinguished guests of the Jade Rabbit clan. You met them a few days ago. He walked up to patted Tu Beng Beng's shoulder to comfort him. They just want to find out something from you. Just relax first. The other party became more nervous after hearing this. I didn't steal their star coins. Those were given to me by other humans. I sold a few radishes. No. It was cabbage. They had no food it just happened that a few days ago, yesterday, he saw that Tu Beng Beng was so nervous that he even spoke incoherently. For a moment, he didn't know how to comfort him. Okay, don't talk first, he interrupted Tu Beng Beng helplessly. Master Wen and I will come to ask you later. Just answer after you hear the questions. After that, he helped the other party sit under the big banyan tree, and then he turned around to look for Wen Jiu. Chu Jian and Husan, who followed, understood the instructions very well. They silently retreated several meters before stopping, leaving space for the two rabbits in front of them to talk. Tumaksu looked at them gratefully, and then took Wen Jiu to walk under the big banyan tree. Tu Beng Beng was so nervous that he was biting his fingers unconsciously. Seeing this, Wen Jiu put on a kind smile. Hello, we meet again. I'm Wen Jiu. You can call me Zio Wen or Zio Jiu. She had just finished speaking when she saw Tu Beng Beng shudder. She felt that she had just smiled very gently, so how could she scare the other party to tremble? Seeing that the scene became awkward again, she quickly winked at Tumaksu beside her. Beng Beng, I can assure you that Master Wen is not a bad person. The other party tried to smooth things over at the right time. She just wants to know where your star coins come from. She has no ill intentions. After hearing this, Tu Beng Beng lowered his head and remained silent for a while, then raised his head and looked at Tumaksu very sincerely. Chief, if I tell you, can you promise not to blame me? Hearing this, Tumaksu nodded with a serious face and replied, as long as you don't do anything that violates the bottom line, I can promise that I won't blame you, and I won't let other rabbits know about this. Mainly because Tu Beng Beng was too nervous. He felt that this matter was not simple, and it might even cause serious consequences, so he could only promise not to blame the other party if he didn't do anything bad. After all, as the chief of the Jade Rabbit clan, he must fulfill his promise once he made it. Tu Beng Beng struggled for a long time, and finally told the whole story. When I went to the Goose Tribe to deliver goods 2 days ago, I met a few humans who fainted beside the psychedelic lake. He didn't want to care at first, but he thought that Tumaksu had brought humans back to the Jade Rabbit tribe before, and the tribe was saying that the other party was interested in making friends with humans. And he has always regarded Tumaksu as an idol, so he naturally wants to follow the other party in everything. So he used the pills on his body to dissolve water, and then fed it to the fainted humans. Because no outsiders had entered the psychedelic lake for a long time, and when Jiu and others were brought in by Toshiro, so after those humans woke up, he specially asked them if they knew Wen Jiu. If they were Wen Jiu's companions, he could go back to DXIU Valley to report the news, and maybe he could earn a little red flower. However, those humans did not know Wen Jiu. They just came to find the legendary place. I heard them say they were looking for DXIU Valley, so I didn't dare to talk to them anymore. Tu Beng Beng said here, and looked at Wen Jiu cautiously. Sorry, master, I shouldn't have acted on my own. But don't worry. I didn't tell them anything about you. I just said that I met 2 humans before and asked them if they were lost companions. Although he was a little rash and careless, he still knew his limits in this regard. After he finished speaking, the other party smiled indifferently. It's okay. In fact, I'm also responsible for this matter. I should have told you earlier that I only have my brother as a companion. No, this is my fault. He was relieved after hearing this, but he still took the responsibility. I shouldn't have made the decision without understanding it clearly. I'm very sorry, Master Wen. Wen Jiu still maintained a friendly smile. It really doesn't matter, since it happened. Let him go, and you continue to talk about what happened later. It doesn't matter, she can bear it. After all, these rabbit spirits rarely come into contact with the outside world, and they should be simpler when facing outsiders. Since she chose to cooperate with the Jade Rabbit clan, she would naturally give them room to grow. It doesn't matter if this happens once, as long as it doesn't happen often. After hearing her words, 2 Bang Bang continued to talk about what happened next. They asked me if I knew where the Emperor's Valley was. I said I was just a little monster out hunting and had never heard of the so-called Emperor's Valley. The other party recounted his memories seriously. I originally wanted to ask more questions, but they were unwilling to say more. They just said they wanted to buy my cabbage and carrots. Today's first update has been successfully delivered. Please check it out. Little Angels. 030. Chapter 949 Human Star Coin 3. So they bought your carrots and cabbage with 1 star coin? Wen Jiu was a little angry when she heard this. If 2 Bang Bang was really fooled by a star coin, then she would really go to those humans to seek justice. She always buys fruits and vegetables at the market price or even higher. Why do these damn humans buy so many with 1 star coin? She will never allow such a thing to happen. Besides, the Jade Rabbit clan will be her partners in the future. If these cute little rabbits are cheated, it means she is cheated. How can she watch 2 Bang Bang being deceived? The other party smiled embarrassedly. No, they wanted to give me a bunch of star coins at first, but I didn't know that was the currency of the human world, so I only took 1 as a souvenir. After all, it is shiny and bright, and it is a rare and beautiful stone. Ahem. So you didn't take anything, and gave them a bunch of fruits and vegetables for free. 2 Marksu scratched his head helplessly. Although our Jade Rabbit clan does not lack fruits and vegetables, you can't just give them away casually. After speaking, 2 Bang Bang quickly added, No, I didn't give it away for free. I asked them to use that potion. Yes, potion. As he spoke, he flipped through his backpack. Fortunately, he brought all the things that the humans gave him with him. Otherwise, he would not be able to get clean, even if he jumped into the psychedelic lake. Dada. After searching for a long time, he found a bottle of potion. Those humans said that after drinking this, you can restore your physical strength and spirit 100 times. When Jiu took the bottle of potion, although the packaging had been opened, she could tell from the color of the liquid in the bottle and the dark patterns carved on the bottle that this was a low-level physical recovery potion produced by AOS Pharmaceuticals. Well, it was still a potion from her hand. She felt a little complicated for a while. Did those humans only give you 1 bottle of potion? Hearing this, 2 Bang Bang immediately handed over all the potions. After she picked them up one by one and looked at them, she felt indescribably depressed. Why are they all low-level physical recovery potions? If you say that those humans fooled 2 Bang Bang, they gave him 7 or 8 bottles of potions for trading. According to the market price of low-level physical recovery potions, they are actually very sincere. But those humans didn't fool her. These potions were all low recovery potions, which made her feel like she was exchanging her own things for her own things. It was very strange. What's wrong with Master Wen? Have I been deceived by those humans? Seeing that she was very depressed, 2 Bang Bang's heart instantly rose to his throat. Hearing this, Wen Jiu finally did a good job of psychological work. No, these potions can indeed restore physical strength and make you energetic. The fruits and vegetables that 2 Bang Bang took out to sell were not her property. She didn't need to be serious about it, nor did she need to be depressed about it. As long as the other party was not deceived by humans, why should she worry about it? That's good. 2 Bang Bang breathed a sigh of relief, but I don't think those humans are bad people. They took the radishes and cabbages and left. They didn't arrest me and torture me, or send me to experiments, as the fourth elder said. Wen Jiu's eyes widened immediately after hearing this. What did you say? What do you mean by arresting you for experiments? After saying this, Su, who was sitting next to him, spread his hands helplessly. Don't be nervous, that's just a story that the fourth elder often tells to deceive the little rabbits, saying that when humans meet little rabbits, they will capture the little rabbits and send them to other planets for experiments and research. My ears are almost calloused from hearing it. Me too. The fourth elder really likes to use this story to scare the little rabbits. 2 Bang Bang said here and smacked his lips in dissatisfaction. The last time I went to Changle Palace to visit my sister's daughter, I heard the fourth elder telling this story to the little rabbits again. He had heard the fourth elder's story when he just learned to transform. I didn't expect that after more than 100 years, the other party would still only tell this story. Thinking of this, he complained again. The fourth elder's story can only scare the little rabbit. Humans will never catch us or send us for experiments. Well, Master Wen and Brother Chu won't do that anyway. Su nodded in agreement. I still prefer the story my grandmother told about the little white rabbit being followed by the evil big bad wolf. He whistled when he heard this. I like this story too. Later, the little white rabbit beat up the big bad wolf and saved the poor grandmother rabbit. The more Wen Jiu listened to what 2 Bang Bang and 2 Su said, the more confused she became. Why did the fourth elder use such a story to scare the little rabbit? But she knew that now was not a good time to ask questions, and the problem of 2 Bang Bang encountering humans had not been resolved. Things have to be done one by one. Troubles have to be solved one by one. So she interrupted the 2 rabbits storytelling at the right time. Well, I want to ask where those humans went later. Do you remember their characteristics? Well, as for where they went later, I really don't know. Rabbit Bang Bang began to recall seriously again, but I remember that their little leader had a scar on his face. On the left side of his face near his eyes. 1, 2, 3, a total of 5 humans. He tried to tell all the details he could think of. I guess they should be in the green grass garden for the first time, otherwise they would not have mistakenly entered the area of the psychedelic lake. I still remember that they finally went in the direction of the Civet Cat tribe. He told all kinds of details, and when he was dry-mouthed, Rabbit Su let him go home and rest. But before he left, he kept all the potions and gave them to Wen Jiu. Because he felt very sorry for the other party, he wanted to use these things to make up for it. After Rabbit Bang Bang left, Chu Jian came over whistling. He immediately caught a glimpse of the potion bottle at Wen Jiu's feet. Isn't this a low-level physical recovery potion? Why did you open the box? First of all, I didn't open the box. The other party put all the potions into the wisdom ring space. Secondly, these potions were given to me by 2 Bang Bang. Hearing this, he couldn't help but ask curiously, where did he get this rabbit spirit from? I see, it was given by humans? Well, but this matter is a long story, and it's getting late now, so let's talk about it slowly. After we returned to Changle Palace, Wen Jiu walked forward sullenly after he finished speaking. Seeing this, he hurriedly followed with Husan, and 2 Su also ran over to follow. Today's second update has also been successfully delivered. Thank you for the support of every little angel. 030. Chapter 950 Porridge Hot Pot 1. Pumpkin Dagwanan. The missing people have returned. Has Sister Farkay finally finished her travels? Glacier, why is there a sudden live broadcast at this time? I have to clock in at the company soon, and then I won't be able to watch Sister Farkay's live broadcast. Want to eat the strawberry in one bite, Sister Farkay. Sister Farkay, how can I live without you? Do you know how I have been through these days? Roaring, turning into a monkey, flying into the primeval forest, swinging on the vines and eating bananas. Roaring, banana, has anyone taken the guy in front away? I'm worried about the mental state of this money-loving person. The best snowflake crisps in the universe, Sister Farkay. I bought a bag of oysters on the road, but accidentally fell into the mud. So this is what oysters want to mud. What are these humans saying? Two marks who looked at the scrolling barrage on the light screen panel with great curiosity. Brother Chu, can you help me translate it into monster language? Hearing this, Chu Jian stopped washing mushrooms. Sure, I'll help you take a look. As he spoke, he walked to the light screen panel, only to see a barrage just floating across it. I really don't understand how such a capable girl could take such a path. He read and felt something was wrong. Where is morality? Where is dignity? Where is the Star Network account? Where is the home address? Where is my sack? He subconsciously finished reading this barrage and heard two marks who speak in confusion. Oh, the way humans speak is getting more and more interesting now. Can you trouble Brother Chu to explain the specific meaning to me? I suddenly remembered that the mushrooms are not washed yet. He was really embarrassed to read out these barrages on the light screen panel. Rabbit Chief, you can ask Master Wen to read and translate them for you later. I'll go wash the mushrooms first. After he finished speaking, he sat back on the small stool and continued to wash the mushrooms diligently. Seeing this, two marks who drooped his rabbit ears in confusion. He wanted to ask Wen Jiu, but the other party was very busy at the moment, and he thought it would be better for him to be quiet and not disturb him. So he perked up his ears again, thinking about listening to what Wen Jiu was saying. It would be better if he didn't listen, but he was even more confused when he heard it. Ears? Haha, those are my friend's ears. It seems I have to enlarge the size of the crying cat head, otherwise all your attention will be on the ears. Wen Jiu said as he moved the light screen panel over and enlarged the size of the shielding object by a full circle, just enough to cover two marks whose long ears. Today we are going to make porridge hot pot. I wonder if you have ever eaten it, she said while washing the rice. I introduced it to you when I made the casserole seafood porridge before. It is best to use glutinous rice to make porridge. You should not have forgotten it. Chris wants to eat 5 bowls. I have not forgotten it. Even my busy sister has not forgotten it. Brother Monkey raised my hand to show that I have not forgotten it either, and I have learned how to make porridge. It's just not as delicious as the casserole seafood porridge made by Sister Farkay. Everyone in Beichuan has to do somersaults. When I just went out, I heard someone mutter a stupid dog, which scared me so much that I didn't dare to look up at all. I kept repeating in my heart that it's not me, it's not me. I really don't understand. What's wrong with me being Sister Farkay's dog? What did I do to offend anyone? I'm so hungry. The money-loving person in front, please be normal. Don't scare away Sister Farkay who finally showed up. Little bear puff, puff puff Sister Farkay. I also learned how to cook porridge. I cooked for my parents a few days ago, and now they have also joined the army of money-loving people. Really? I'm really happy to see that your cooking skills have improved. Wen Jiu added an appropriate amount of clean water to the basin where the rice was washed. Because the rice needs to be soaked for an hour, this live broadcast will be longer. It just so happens that I haven't chatted with you for a long time, and I haven't had time to do the review assignment I mentioned before. As the saying goes, it's better to do it today than to choose a day. Why don't we get it done all at once today? As soon as he finished speaking, the barrage on the light screen panel instantly doubled. 20. Finally, it's the homework review session I'm looking forward to the most. I've been commenting on Sister Farkay's blog every day and asking for comments. 33. I only care if this porridge hot pot has meat. Although Sister Farkay has made me fall in love with vegetarian dishes again, I still prefer meat. User gave the anchor 5 guardian angels to wish you good fortune. I almost missed Sister Farkay's live broadcast. I just saw the comments saying that Sister Farkay is going to review my homework. I want to ask Sister Farkay if she can be the first to review my homework. I've uploaded many posts in your forum. How can the rich man Luoki be in the queue when reviewing homework? Anyway, I don't agree with you cutting in line unless you send 5 more guardian angels. I will select according to the popularity of the posts. Wen Jiu chatted with the money fans while processing the ingredients. After all, time is limited. I will first select 10 popular assignments and then randomly select 10 assignments. As she said this, she took the sturgeon prepared by 2 marks Su. The other party not only killed the fish, but also cleaned it and sliced the sturgeon into thin slices. So she took a piece of fish with chopsticks and showed it in front of the camera. "Everyone, look at this fish slice, isn't it very good? This is made by my new chef friend. Rocky wants to eat all over the stars. Can you reveal your friend's Star Network account or address? I will never be able to hire a wealthy sister as a private chef in my lifetime, but I think this friend may be able to be conquered. Fujikura Sachiko, I think this chef friend of Sister Fake won't mind having a friend who can dance, right?" The sound of the wind blowing. Wow, can this new money fan witness the fight between two big guys? By the way, this is the first time I see big guys fighting. So excited. Beauty speechless. I can see that you are a new money fan. Rocky and Sachiko have fought many times, and we old money fans are used to it. Once how, I'm late. I've only eaten the mushroom hot pot on Pangusta. This is the first time I've heard of porridge hot pot. Big brother monkey, where did Sister Fake know the chef friend? This knife skill is not ordinary, comparable to Sister Fake. Wen Jiu deliberately turned off the microphone and whispered the barrage for Tu Maksu. She didn't want to start a live broadcast here at first, but after returning to Changle Palace, Tu Maksu was very curious. The other party wanted to know whether humans really like the food of the Jade Rabbit clan. She felt that words were not enough, so she started this live broadcast. Source. Today's third update has also been delivered. Thanks again to the little angels for their support. 030. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.